shit.
Man over madness, grand over habit. We never had it. Check off the box on the bag list. Now we established from the block to the palace. Usage and salvage. Now we about it. Traveling thousand. Rich or poor, we breaking the balance. When it changed to that the ballot. Didn't get a thing, so I still with my talent. Up in the clouds, collecting the mileage. Soon we hit land, we up at a challenge. Dodging anything that's bringing us malice. Got hit in the cup, can't sip from that chalice. Trying to see life from a different view. Checking all sides, my peripheral. We up now, and that's the pinnacle. The inner you. Eyes stuck on the inner tube. Perception got them in V2. They all gas like an inner tube. Took a small break just to interlude. Now we in the groove. Took a couple losses, we was 10 and 2. Before the turn, it was 10 and 2. Got it hand over hand like we 10 and 2. Cause when you down and out, they don't pin on you. Still we made it. From the land where they take that, they don't play fair. Lost a lot of niggas, fell off with niggas, I don't really care. Hell with them now, whether tried to feel with them now. So we out here until we out of here, looking up now, past the stratosphere.
Came a long way, I was eating cereal, stale as fuck. Couple OT shifts back to back, that was 12 a month. Seeing pain often got me asking, nigga, what the hell you want? Rather pay up front before I pay up front. You could say I didn't, never say I won't. Fast forward, that's crash course. I was broke, unattached headboard. Used to laugh at me, life was comical. We up now, astronomical. Our lowest points was a plateau. Blessed after being back dope. We was on the business and it went sour. We still made it, that's a different power. Gotta watch your 6 when they owe you 20. Every day I smile through the horribles. Oracles telling me I got a few minutes. It was a quarter to vulnerable visions. I'm making it out of it. Portable audibles. Pardon me, possibly. Circle with smallest apostrophes. Making monopolies out of these lyrics. Commodities, obviously. Welcome to the deli. Felonies he called allegedly. Fuel for the fire, especially. It was the recipe. Open sesame. All this pain never overstressing me. God did. He was over testing me. Get a lesson, never get a lesson me. Back to business cause he over blessing me. That's the turn, nigga. It's my turn, nigga. It's our turn, nigga.
Yeah. It is definitely our turn. Welcome back to another State of Gaming podcast. Yes, sir. We're back on Saturday, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern. So we're going to get it cooking, man. Hopefully Noah can join the show. I didn't want to keep y'all waiting. So me and Mello going to hold it down in case he come through or not, but we'll hold it down for you. My lips is orange. I was eating a little cheesy popcorn. Don't really. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't knock me for the cheesy popcorn. The Garrett's and it just be your hands be all different colors and stuff. If you from Chicago, you know about Garrett's, or if you visited Chicago, look at me talking about. Why do every show I got to bring up some type of food? One show, a meal or something. Last show it was oxtails. Now is Garrett's popcorn. Somebody brought up. Look, man, let me chill out, man. Let me chill out, man. But thank y'all for joining and supporting the channel and consistently showing up. We're gonna try to have another great show today. Yes. A lot of stuff going on in the news. A controversial Hogswart review came out by Wired, and people have their opinions about that. We're going to talk about that. I did purchase the game. I haven't played it because I want to beat Hi-Fi Rush first, but I haven't beat Hi-Fi Rush because some things popped up on a personal side outside of this stuff that got me kind of preoccupied. So once I deal with that family issue, I can get my head straight and get back to gaming. But I'm telling y'all, man, it's always something. It's all just when you think you got over one hump or one hurdle, another obstacle is put in front of you. You feel me? And that's just life. That's just life, period. And that's what I'm dealing with right now. You get over one hurdle and another hurdle is in front of. But we're not going to allow that to stop us or deter us. Obstacles and things like that. Once you get over them, they make you stronger. And some of them teach you just how to get over the next one. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to give our perspective on that. I know, hold on, I got a popcorn. Woo!
Got a popcorn shell. You feel me? Popcorn shell. You feel me? Now we'll give our perspective on that. Look, now I'm not gonna get too deep in the game. I'm not gonna judge the game or anything like that because I know I haven't played it. You haven't played it either yet, Mello, right?
Zero. I have not.
Okay, Mello haven't played it yet, but we understand the discourse around the game in terms of the owner of the IP, her feelings about a certain community, and how that's trickulating over into some of these reviews. So we'll look at that, look at the article and read some of it to see what they're talking about, and then we'll give our perspective on that. Hopefully Noah can join the show because I know for a fact that he has been playing Hogswart. Oh, look, I can't even the Harry Potter game. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
Harry Potter game. Harry Potter game. He's been playing the game. So I definitely want to get his take on what he's played so far and how he felt about it. Then we got Fable in a playable state.
What?
Fable in a playable state. Yes. The Fable.
Wait,
Fable that everybody say studio was in discourse.
It was in disarray.
Disarray. You feel me?
Wasn't never gonna see the light of day.
Fable was never gonna see the light of day. They needed to bring in another studio for help.
Yeah,
we ain't gonna see Fable until 27, 20, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. You feel me?
That Fable?
Yes, that Fable is in a playable state, brother.
Hold on, you saying controller to screen? You feel playable?
Hey, you know all the misinformation that goes on about Microsoft, their studios, their studio environment, the state their games in. I think it's 2023. It's already in a playable state. You feel me?
Yeah, Microsoft effed up.
It doesn't that sound like a 2024 release to you?
It smell kind of 24ish to me. If you ask me, it smell kind of 24. 25 to be lucky. 25 to be on the.
That sound kind of 20, but we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get our perspective on it. We're also gonna reach out to the chat and see what y'all think about it. Then Ubisoft Plus on Xbox and possibly from what we're hearing, 60 games. And there's a possibility that it might be in Game Pass due to some store information that popped up that had Ubisoft Plus and Game Pass kind of verbiage on it. If that happens,
come on now.
In terms of with what we know this year, right?
Man, my God.
Let me turn off this fan because I know y'all can hear it.
My God. What up, chat? Shout out to the chat, man. It was good, people.
And let me know how it sounds because I'm using this new mic preamp. I just want
working on my camera, man. It's janky over here right now. I'm working on getting my camera set up so post don't be by itself.
We're gonna have to do a camera fund for the channel, man. We're gonna have to do a camera fund. Help that man get a camera. But yeah, Ubisoft is rumored that it might be launching in Game Pass. And given what we know about this year, just the first half of this year, right? And I think my feeling is that it might happen around E3, but I don't want to get into it. But imagine Game Pass. You have the EA Play and Ubisoft Plus in Game Pass. You feel me? Along with what we're getting the first half of this year. Redfall, possibly Starfield, right? Then you get Wolong and all that stuff. We got Atomic Heart dropping in a couple of weeks or so.
Yep.
And then the back half of that, if they announce at E3 that Hellblade 2 is launching in the fall alongside Forza Motorsport, and around September, October. Right? And you got Lies of Peas and all that stuff.
Man.
Right? Whew.
I don't know how many games y'all gonna be able to do, man.
You're talking about incredible value in a year for Xbox, but we're gonna get into that. I don't want to talk too much because that's something that we definitely need to get into. And then after that, maybe if there's anything else that I forgot to put in the headlines or anything that y'all have in the chat that y'all want to discuss that I might have forgot about, just let me know and we'll discuss it. That's what the and more is about. And then we're going to get to this Microsoft Activision update. The CMA, the Competition Market Authority over in the UK, has released their provisional findings regarding the acquisition of regarding Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard. And I know people say, well, Post, it looks like they did do their due diligence because they changed some stuff. No, yeah, they changed some stuff. But they still over there with Sony. A lot of that, from the stuff, and I'm gonna do a separate show on this because there's so much to talk about. I'm still going through it on the times that I'm able to dip in and read about it. Also, I sent some things out with some questions. Hopefully, those questions get answered, and I'll be able to give y'all. Yeah, I'll be able to kind of give y'all some. I don't want to say inside information, anything like that, but I'll be able to. If those questions get answered, I'll be able to present y'all with some information that other people are not privy to, but I'm trying to see if those questions are going to get answered. So I'm waiting on feedback. Hopefully I'll hear some Monday morning or something like that. And if so, then I'll try to go through the show. But they still using a lot of Sony arguing points in that provisional finding. And like I said, I know Jim Ryan from the UK. Y'all can. I'm just saying how I see fit, how I see it.
Hey man, okay. In my bag. I told you
that I'm talking about how I see it. Look,
I'm about yo. What's up, bro?
What's good? This brother walking. This brother walking on us. This brother.
No, man, I'm at work, bro. Man, I'm just leaving the building, bro. I'm at work.
Oh man, the brother just leaving.
But you know what though? I do park all the way in the back though, so I get my steps in.
Look at this brother. Yeah, you intentionally park in the back, so you can intentionally. That's like me getting up in the building, knowing I parked in the back and got to walk all the way around the building to get to the car. You feel me? I've been doing that, but the show ain't started yet. You got time, good brother. I'm just doing the intro right now, and I'm about to, start shouting people out in the chat, and then we're gonna get started because we definitely need your take on the Harry Potter game because I know you've been playing it.
Hell yeah!
I haven't
played
it,
play a little bit on stream.
Yeah, okay, that'll be dope, brother. That'll be dope. Just let us know when you get to the crib, all right?
All right, stall for me a little bit because I gotta grab these chicken strips from Chick-fil-A, bro. Them shit's been calling me.
Brother said he parked. Hold on. The brother just said, see, that's what I'm saying. We bring up food on everything. We're gonna have to do a gaming food stream where we eat and game or do something with food because either it's him or Noah. It's me or him gonna bring up some type of food. Now the brother just said he parked all the way in the back so he could walk to the car, but now he finna go to Chick-fil-A and get them chicken tenders, brother. You feel me? He's calling me. They just keep calling.
Hey yo, hey post mac and cheese, brother. Chick-fil-A mac and cheese. You won't put me on. You put me on.
Hey, bro, let me tell you something. Hold on. See, we're getting sidetracked. But let me tell you something. We're just gonna get sidetracked for a few seconds. Big people in food. That's you're gonna get a great conversation. You feel me? You're gonna get a great every time somebody bring up food, you're gonna get a great conversation. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Let me tell you something. That mac and cheese at Chick-fil-A, somebody put some soul in that, brother. Somebody put some down south auntie grandma cooking foot in that mac and cheese. You feel me? At Chick-fil-A, brother. I'm telling you. Let me tell you something. When Thanksgiving come this year, right? And you go to Thanksgiving, right? And you look at the mac and cheese and it looks suspect, right? You take a look corner and it's not to your liking, right? What I want you to do is dip out the house, tell them you'll be back, right? You feel me? Find you a Chick-fil-A. Go get you a large bowl of mac and cheese. Don't share it with nobody. Don't tell nobody. Let me tell you something. Don't tell nobody. Slap it on your plate. Act like it came out of there. If somebody asks, you be like, well, this is the way mine look. I don't know how yours look, but you know, this just the part I got out of the pan. And you're gonna be good. I'm telling you, you're gonna be good, bro. Yeah, but we definitely need your perspective on the Harry Potter game. Also, the Wire, the Wire review that came out about it. So you got time, brother. All right, and so all right, go ahead. So we definitely gonna talk about Microsoft Activision. I'm gonna do a separate show on it to go in depth because it's so much, 277 pages and stuff like that. But from what I've seen so far, right? From what I've seen so far, they are still trying to protect the interests of Sony because some of that shit don't make any sense. And it shows you had a year, right? From your phase 1 findings. And I know they changed their perspective on Game Pass and stuff like that. Yeah, that's cool and stuff like that. You had a year. Then you said you went through 3 million documents. How, Sway? Stop. Look, I ain't gonna say they lying. Hey, I ain't gonna say they lying. 3 million. Okay. You ain't got a team big enough to go through 3 million documents. And let me tell you something. Look, they are still trying to protect the interests of Sony, right? Right. And in this case, they know, right? And majority of what I read in that so far in there is a lot of could, maybe, or might.
Might have.
It could do this. It may do this, and it might do this. And from my understanding, you cannot block a deal based off probability, right? You need substantial evidence around the accusations or the information that you presenting on why this deal either should be blocked, the divestiture, that's not even on the table. Okay, that's not even on the table. The cloud stuff, that's not even on the table. Don't have an argument with that because you don't need a console to stream. And cloud gaming is not exclusive to one particular operating system, right? And you can't force Microsoft to put Activision games on other people's cloud services. You can't force them to do that because you didn't force Disney to put Fox content on Netflix or Amazon Prime. And you didn't force Amazon to put MGM or MGM or what's the other movie? 007. 007. You didn't force them to put their content on their competitors' platform. Fox removed all their content from Netflix, but from like they still allow their stuff in theaters, and from like a pay-per-view perspective or stuff like that, they do allow their competitors to, you know what I'm saying, sell their content and get a percentage. Okay. So in those deals, along the line of Disney, well, I'm getting deep into. Let me stop. Let me stop. I'm getting into it. Let me stop. I gotta hold myself. Let me stop. Let me stop. I'm gonna get what we finna do is we're gonna do our due diligence because I think some people got it twisted, especially the PlayStation guys who clown me.
They always got it twisted
for following this thing as closely as I've been following it, and then say they don't care about it and call me lawyers and stuff like that. But soon some come out, they want to read a few journalist articles and then tell me
it's blocked. It's blocked. It ain't going through.
You feel me?
I told you.
You feel me? Okay, we're gonna do this. Let me call it here. Verge Brizzle, what's good? My Nuzzle, Elzo. Yo, Elzo. Shout out to Verge Brizzle, always showing up to the show, always supporting. HB, what's good? That's your name. I just came off the head with the HB. I ain't gotta say your whole name no more. We ain't gotta make it a thing no more. HB, what's good? I ain't talking about HBO, but I'm talking about HB. You feel me? That's what we're gonna call you. That's what you call it. You know, I ain't gonna be saying that name every stream. You feel me? Man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to King Reaper 74G. Alakazam was good. Who else was good? The Dark Lord Fusion was good. Always showing up, always supporting. Garuda Legends. Ain't seen you in a minute, but it's good to see your face. 114. Grown man stuff first always. Yes, sir. Gotta get that taken care of. Whew. And then get my hair straight, and I'll be back in the mood to game again, man. 6-200 block. What's good, Dre? What's going on, man? The other Zinc, aka Ray Nim. We pulling up on everybody. You feel me? Other Zinc say Other Zinc told Noah, you on the wrong side of the street,
man.
That ain't how we do it over here.
Let me go.
He told Noah, you lucky Ray Nim ain't around.
What?
All the time I'm sitting there like,
yes.
Who is Ray Nim? Who is Ray Nim? And what they do? What they gonna pull up with? You know what I'm saying? Hey man, them brothers was serious, but you know, I was going, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna scrap with my state of the cake. I said state of the cake, my state of gaming, brother. You feel me? I was gonna scrap with him. He would have pulled up with Ray now. We was boxing. We was gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? It was gonna be on bottom by crime. You know what I'm saying? But somebody gonna get knocked out. We gonna shake hands later and then play, you know what I'm saying, play the Xbox.
We gonna do no one-on-one.
You feel me? Shout out to Anthony Chipmunk. The Ruhan was good. Let me see. Trey Mack premieres. Trey, you see, you ain't from Chicago. You don't know about it. Let me stop. No, it's a guy named Trey Mack. But if you the radio in Chicago, you know, but the yes, yeah. Then we got who else? Darth Kermit was good. MC was good. We got Black Lightning 100. We got FPS plays Grandpapa. FPS plays Grandpapa. I don't know what that is. I don't even know how you came up with that name, brother. You feel? I ain't gonna knock it though. I don't know FPS shooter play. I don't even know what Grandpapa is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a game piece, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Delilah HD. What's good, Queen? Thank you for showing up. Thank you for supporting the channel when the show is good. Seeing you, Queen. Hope you had a great new year and blessings to you and the family. Bay Area, what's up? What's good? Also, before we get started, we have an announcement, right? I know y'all been hearing us on Twitter about the merch and stuff like that.
Oh man,
we finally getting some things together. I don't know if the store is live yet. But
it's live, but don't go there.
Yeah, it's live, but we ain't gonna put it up because we want to put some additional things on there, some additional shirts, some additional designs and stuff like that. And we're gonna try to update it as frequent as possible. I'm gonna try to continue to push mellow creative mind when it comes to this whole clothing designing thing. Because let me tell you, when y'all gonna see some of this stuff, man, this brother got this brother got. We got posters and stuff. We got some for men. We got some for we even got swimming trucks.
We got it for the babies.
We got swimming trucks. We got stuff for the babies.
Can't forget.
You feel me? You could buy some for your baby, your newborn. Wrap them up in the, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? The newborns. You know what I'm saying? We got
maternity t-shirts. You know,
yeah,
still got them in the oven.
Hoodies, sweaters.
Stay the game.
You know what I'm saying? Stay the game. And we're trying to create something that that you want only wear because you look at a lot of merch, and we want merch where you'll be comfortable not only just wearing it in front of the camera when you on your podcast, but when you out kicking it. You know what I'm saying? We try to design stuff like that that'll go naturally with the clothes and the gear and the fits that you already have. You know what I'm saying? We looking into some other stuff, but I ain't gonna even announce it yet. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but we got some nice stuff. I hope y'all like it. I hope y'all like it when y'all see it. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all like it when y'all see it. What we got here? We got Snooky Jackson. What's good, Snooky? Snooky was the name that they gave. All right, so we're gonna get started. Hopefully, in the midst of us talking about this Harry Potter joint and this review, Noah can come in and give his perspective on the game until me and Mello can play. I got the game. I brought shout out to I forgot somebody on Twitter when I asked how was the game, because I was thinking about purchasing it, and a lot of people hopped in the comment section and was like, post this joint fire, you gotta get it, whop the bam. And then somebody told me that what's that? I forgot what online store that was, but they had $10 off the deluxe edition. Yeah, so I got the deluxe edition for the regular price of the game. You know what I'm saying? Which salute, good look on that, man.
Oh, damn.
So we're gonna bring up this article. Let me see here. Hopefully it's still. They still got it going. Let me see here. We're gonna bring up this article. I think I got it right there. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that, and then we'll get into the Microsoft Activision stuff. Like I said, towards the back half of the show. I know a lot of people want to hear our perspective on that. But like I said, if you're just coming in, I'm going to this week, since it's so much to read and so much to go over. You're going to get my perspective now, but you're going to get a more deeper dive this week coming up, because I sent out some questions to certain. I sent out some questions, and hopefully I get a response back this week on the questions that I asked.
You sent some of my questions, bro.
We'll talk about that then. But I just sent some questions out, and hopefully they get answered this week, and then I'll take those questions and the answers to those questions and do a deep dive along with my assessment of what I read. I know a lot of people been taking screenshots of the articles, of the pages and stuff like that, but we're gonna get into it. I still think they're one-sided in their assessment. They made this whole deal about Microsoft and Sony. They have excluded Nintendo. They have excluded Steam. They have excluded other companies and things like that. Through that, and then people tell me, well, it ain't about Sony. They just doing it. No, you don't hear them talk about nobody else but Microsoft and Sony. That's all the CMA been talking about. Microsoft and Sony. And I hope that, let me stop. You know, every time I get to talking about it, you know, I just want to
get in the bag. Yeah, I'm ready to cuss people out.
You feel me? But you know, I'm gonna take my time. So let me just pull up this article, okay? And let me just put up this article, okay? And let me see here. Check here.
They called me the problem when all this stuff was going around, and I said what I said.
Hey, let me tell you something. This M2
I was the problem.
Let me tell you something. This M2 Mac, brother.
Oh yeah.
This thing moves so fast. Like when it installs stuff, you don't even see the bar go across. It just say installed.
Man,
bro, this thing is this thing is lightning fast, bro.
Clicking buttons like, why is it taking so long?
Icons just boop. When I open something, it just boop. You feel me? Just boop. It's just there. You don't have to watch that bouncing icon bounce 4-5 times before it pop up. Man. Yeah, buddy. Let me see here. Where we at here?
I can't wait.
You feel me? Let me see here. And so I can. I'm gonna pull this up here. Shout out to False Patton too. False Patton he's been doing a remarkable job too. He's up there with Hogswart. Since he have like 12 years of experience in mergers and acquisitions and stuff like that, he's been doing a heck of a job. Him, Idas, Pixie, if I'm pronouncing that right, Pixie on Reset Era along with Idas and Whole Long when he was healthy and things like that. They've been doing a remarkable job in terms of breaking all this information down and making it accessible to us, because outside of it, we not no lawyers, understand, but they break down that lawyer talk so good. So let me see here.
What's going on?
All right, so I'm gonna put this on the screen, and this is what we're gonna talk about. Let me do this here. Dave, see. Let me turn this on screen recording. I haven't finished setting the permissions. We'll do that later.
It said hit that like button or your Xbox will be a PS4 when you wake up. Shout out to Group Legends.
Okay, let me cancel that. And let me close that out. Let me do this again. Window. Oh, there we go, because it is on. Okay. Oh, let me do this here. That's why I forgot it can't. It doesn't support it.
What's good, Jay?
It doesn't support it. Okay, there we go. Now I can close this out and then do this here.
I can say that for you watching that pic, boy. Your big toe is raggedy the above, boy.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so we're gonna talk about this. And I don't want to get, like I said, I'm not gonna judge the game. I purchased the game. I got the deluxe edition. Okay. I downloaded it. I haven't got a chance to play it. All right. Mello haven't played it, but I know he'll get it. He always say he'll have a game that he's not gonna play. He's not gonna, and then turn around and beat the game anyway. So
no disrespect, all disrespect.
No disrespect, but all disrespect. What are we?
My guns.
What are we doing here, brother?
And that I do not pay $60 to $70 for a single player game. So I'm sticking to that.
Huh?
Yeah, we're gonna roll with that.
Huh?
I had that stance for
hey, man, if you buy Fable and it's single player only, they gonna stump your ass out. If you pull up on Hellblade 2,
not the coupons for that.
Well, no, that's on Game Pass. My bad, brother. My bad, brother. You feel me?
Shout
my
out.
bad, brother.
I paid $160 for the whole.
Hey, Black Lightning. Hey, that's you. You bring up food every show and get me sidetracked. I'm not gonna do it today, brother. We not gonna do it today. We done already talked about. We done already talked about. I don't even know what type of food we talked about early, but we ain't finna do it now, brother. You is not finna give. You did that the last show.
So Harry Potter.
Let's go. Harry Potter.
Okay.
Okay, The Wire. Everybody know Wired. Microsoft worked with them in the past. Sony worked with them in the past, especially when it comes to hardware announcement and things like that. In this particular case, they did a review. There is no magic in Hogwarts Legacy. The game is mid at best, and its real-world harms are impossible to ignore, right? When this happened, people automatically knew what this was about. Now, everybody I've seen, even the gameplay that I've seen, because prior to the game coming out, we seen some gameplay mechanics of it with the wand and stuff and the fighting that looked kind of suspect, right?
Okay.
But when the game actually came out and you get people uploading their gameplay footage in certain parts of the game, it actually looks incredible. It looks fun. The graphics looks incredible. Everybody loved the way they're able to build their character and stuff like that. People said they got the character design of it correct in terms of putting yourself in the game and being able to the character being able to look like you and you able to upgrade and kind of drip your character out while you kind of whooping ass with a wand. But we know the controversy that surrounded this in terms of the lady who owns this IP, who writes these books, her perspective on I would say the transgender community, right? And she came out and said some things that didn't go well with that community or the LGBTQ community, period. And so her perspective on that kind of trickulated over into this IP, which actually has nothing to do with her per se, outside of them just being able to use the license to create the game, right? And like I said, I think a show ago, that her perspective or her ideals shouldn't be applied to what this studio is doing with this game. True. Because from my understanding, none of the original characters from the movie is even in the game. They're just using the license of the IP, being able to create in the universe and things like that. Okay, from my understanding.
Don't she still get a percentage because of the name of Harry Potter, or no?
She's gonna be rich one way or another.
Oh, I'm just
she get royalties,
some type of percentage.
But whether you have a team of creators and designers and developers that work tirelessly, right? Tirelessly, hours away from their family. It's a means for them to put food in their family's mouth, right?
True indeed.
Right. I understand she gets royalties from this game, but whether you rate this game low, whether you even decide not to buy it, she's a billionaire. She's going to eat. She's still eating from Harry Potter 17 years ago.
Yeah, true.
She's still eating from books she released years ago because people still banned them. The whole Harry Potter joint is on HBO, and people are still watching it.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where we going with this? And we all stand where we stand. Everybody's just focusing on the game. We care about the actual game and all the backstory.
I don't think the game.
It shouldn't. I can agree with you. The game shouldn't suffer because of this person's stance,
because
their opinion about a particular group.
It ain't like the developers agree with her.
Yeah, but when this topic came up and when she said what she said, was this before the game or after the game release?
This was before the game release. All this stuff was happening leading up to the game release. So and people knew, like people on Twitter, that was the conversation on Twitter.
Because she had this stand when the movies was out, correct? She took this stand when the movie was out, or
I think she took that recently. Let me double check. I don't know exactly when she said it.
It's a reason why I'm saying this, because I'm just throwing a little question in there. Don't like get offended and getting a bunch. But who's to be if there is some type of penalty that could come with this? Who is there? Is it her or is it the developers? Because you knew her stance prior to making this game. Could y'all have made this a spinoff that wasn't related to Harry Potter in general, period, not even having the name? Or was this something that was out of their hands at that point?
Let me see. I think it was out of their hands.
Okay.
It was out of their hands.
I'm just throwing that in there because sometimes people do things for a bag.
Hey, yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we get you.
Yeah.
But like the Ruham say, gamers have spoken. So before we get deep into this, Noah has played the game, right? He has played the game. So I want to get his perspective on the game and what he think. I don't know if he read this Wired article, but I want to give his perspective on the game, and then we'll go through a little bit of the article and then give his perspective on what he played versus what they're saying in the article. So give us a breakdown on the game, Noah.
Bro, this game is amazing. If you love RPG games, the games with strong RPG elements, you're gonna love Harry Potter. This game reminds me of like a little bit of like a little Fable, I want to say, and Bully. I don't know if y'all played Bully back in the day.
Yeah,
you had to go to the classrooms and But here, like the classrooms, you learn to do like things that will actually help you in battle and progress through the story. So like the way they did this game so far for what I played, and I'm only like level 11, either 10 or 11, but so far for what I'm played, I'm loving this game, man. It's really detailed. There's so much nuance. It's thorough. And I'm not even a Harry Potter fan. Mm-hmm. Be real with you. I fall asleep whenever my cousins used to put the movies on. I used to fall asleep. I didn't care anything about Harry Potter.
Because I get everybody enjoying the game in the aspect of what it has to deliver, but this topic ain't more so about the game itself and how fun it is. This is about someone's political stance in a sense. Supporting one that
I got my thoughts on that too. I want to let Post go through the article first. I have my thoughts on that.
Okay.
But yeah, man. If you want to play a good game, if you bored with your backlog or you have nothing to play, you need to grab Hogwarts Legacy. Man, my 2K buddies got off 2K. They never get off 2K. My 2K buddies got off 2K, and they're playing Hogwarts Legacy. That's how real it is. That's how good this game is.
What?
Okay.
I feel you play. I feel.
No negative.
Mello know how it is with them 2K, but Mello a 2K head himself. You know how to stand up.
Yeah, it take a lot for a person to get off of 2K.
Yeah, I think Mello got off 2K for Hi-Fi Rush, right?
Yeah,
got off
every day's a grind. Yeah. Hey man, I gotta get the skateboard.
But I
double XP.
I do applaud, and the Ruham, shout out to the Ruham in the chat. He said gamers have spoken. So I do applaud gamers who didn't allow anyone's stance or anyone to force them to make a choice that they didn't want to. You had a lot of people being threatened, saying if you stream this game, if you play this game, if you buy this game, people being unfollowed, people being blocked because they was in support of this game. And then you look when the game released, it had over 1.2 million streams on Twitch. You had people being harassed and things like that. I think it should never get that far. I think it should never get that far. I can go deeper than that, but we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it surface level. We're gonna keep it surface level because
something now. That
people react to the things they want to react to, and there's other things that goes on in this world, in this country, in society. Period. That should have the same reaction. And
don't go.
No, we won't go there. We won't go there. So I'm just for to get to this article, okay? I ain't judging. I ain't picking a side. I ain't picking a side. I ain't judging. I'm just saying. I'm not about to go there. I'm not about to go there, Mello. I didn't pull it back, brother. Oxtails and jerk seasoning. Let me tell you something. I'm here, brother. I am with you. I am not gonna take it there. I'm just saying that's why I said I'm gonna keep it on.
That's what I'm trying to get to what I was saying because I can get it.
For those gamers who stood and said, look, I understand her opinion, and I'm able to separate how she feels versus the creator of the games and their intentions behind creating this game. And their intentions behind creating this game was for the enjoyment of gamers, to bring people who love this IP, who love the books, into a virtual world, right? that they've been wanting to be in for a very long time. To see aspects of the universe, of the castles and stuff like that, these rooms that they never really got a chance to do from watching the films or even reading the books. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to people who continuously stream it. You know what I'm saying? If you was for the game, shout out to you. If you're not for this game, if you agree with others that want to kind of blacklist this game and not buy it and not stream it, then that is your choice. You know, and I'm not gonna knock you for your choice because you're also standing on your principles. So I respect both sides for standing on their principle, but just don't try to force someone into making a choice or making a stance that they don't agree with.
Yeah,
they don't agree with.
I just support harassment in anything. If you unfollow somebody and you made you vocalize that on your social media that you unfollow someone, that's on you. You can do that. I can't tell you the level of how you should and should not do something. But when it comes to threatening someone's family over a video game or their stands that you may or may not even know that they have pertaining towards a game, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you might want to tone that down some, but
and see,
answer that super chat. Right?
Let me get that super chat. Let me get the super chat. My brother Max City. Let me tell you something. There are bots in this community, and there are premium bots. You feel me? Now, Max City is a premium bot. You feel me? He ain't just a regular bot. You feel me? If you've seen his gaming setup, man, this brother, it is crazy. This brother is a true bot. And his botism is always on display. You feel me? Max City Entertainment with the $2. Cap Noah, the same.
Oh, yeah.
Same fun nigga that hated Elden Ring. Fuck out of here.
Can I rebuttal?
Oh, absolutely.
You may rebuttal. Okay, Mac didn't start or something, but go ahead, brother.
What's up, man? You my bro. You my bro, man. Man, we done been in the battlefield. We've been in them trenches and Call of Duty. You was getting shot up. I was getting kills, but that's a whole other story.
Shots fired.
But I will say this though, right? When I spoke about Elden Ring, I gave my personal opinion. I came from a place of bias. I'm not really a big fan of Souls games. So to me, it seemed like Elden Ring was overhyped. But as I took a step back and really looked and talked to people that don't even participate in like console wars, they don't really get involved with the day-to-day politics and just seeing how authentic the love for Elden Ring was. I have to admit the game is big. It's a huge game.
Hold on. What'd you say again?
The game is big. It's a huge game. If you like it, I love it.
He said, "Say it with your chest." Say it with your chest.
If you like it, I love it. I got nothing respect. Nothing but respect for Elden Ring. But the way I felt about Elden Ring is the same way I felt for like Dark Souls, those Bloodborne. Never been a fan of it, but I did get a game to try.
He was hating back.
To each his own.
It can be fun. It can be fun. I don't mind co-oping it with people.
That's what it sounds like.
But it's not my. It's not my preferred type of game, but I respect it. I respect Elden Ring for what it is. I respect Elden Ring for the greatness it is.
We was going back and forth on the Elden Ring game of the year, so that's what I'm saying. We did. Praising this.
We did.
Ooh, with the stick there.
It's my personal opinion. If I had to pick and choose, I would play God of War over Elden Ring. I would. That's just the type of game I would enjoy. But I respect Elden Ring for being the goatee it is.
Shout out to Max City for that one. Shout out to him calling.
Max City starting stuff already. Max City started. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into some of this review. We'll kind of go through it a little bit and then see if what they're saying lines up with what Noah been playing. They give it a 1 out of 10. Cat, stop the cat.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Stop the cap. Now, look, I ain't even played the game, bro. I ain't even played the game, but come on now.
Looking at it right now.
Come on now. Stop the cap. But
I'm just looking.
It helped me say goodbye to the setting for good. All right. We know it, some personal opinions weighed in on this. Why you and then they got tired. The story is rooted in anti-Semitic tropes. Wow. The gameplay feels dated. The graphics feel like they're a couple generations behind. All the characters are one dimensional. It doesn't stay true to the established lore. Every character feels like an off-brand version of the characters we know and love. There's no sense of place, no magic, no heart. Now I'm looking at Mello, I'm looking at the video you have playing on screen. I know it's small.
Yeah.
But that don't line up with what I'm seeing, player. That do not. And see this, look, don't bring your politics into gaming. Keep it gaming. When you bring your politics into gaming, you allow your personal opinion of those politics to impact how you feel about that game. Understand, right? I understand that. Understand this is a grown-up thing. You have children out there, 6, 7, 8 years old, that probably don't understand nothing what's going on right now, right? That might see your review and be looking. You know what I'm saying? A parent might be looking at your review to see if they want to purchase the game for their child, right? Let's keep that in mind, right? Let's keep that in mind. Yikes, y'all. I don't even smoke and I feel like I need a cigarette. Hold on. Give me just a second here. Let me clear my. This is that. Hold on.
What's going on? I don't know, man.
Hold on. Let me get this super chat. I don't want it. I had to click on the site to look at it because I haven't read the article yet. So we're doing this live. We're not gonna read all of it. We're just gonna skim through some of it, just to see what they're saying. But I'm kind of salty that I even gave them the click. Okay, because this. Okay, let me read this super chat. Iron Mike with the $5. Elden Ring trash, but sticks in your hands and broomsticks between your legs is fire. This got Illuminati written all over it. Let me tell y'all something.
Broomstick, though. I ain't go.
Let me tell y'all something, right? Yeah. There is this notion that Harry Potter is for kids.
Yeah.
If you think that, go and watch the movie and see how dark it gets. And then come back and tell me that that movie or even that series is only for kids. Go watch the movie and see how dark, and from the first one all the way to the other 2, 3, or 4, and see how after every one the story gets darker and darker. People getting killed. Yeah, in wizardry. Yeah. And they got you flying on I ain't gonna spoil it for those that ain't really seen the movies. But go watch the movies and see how dark they get.
But ain't nothing wrong with a video game.
You would think it's kiddie. You would think it's kiddie.
There's nothing wrong with a video game or a movie that's allowing you to use your mind instead of the typical just grab a gun, boom, boom, shoot them up. Like,
I think this is refreshing.
Yeah, they need to get out of that notion like everything has to be that to be good or entertaining. Like, no.
Yeah. It's like we're at a point where if it ain't shoot 'em up, bang, bang, then you know what I'm saying?
And want extra diversity with the game.
Yeah. They keep giving us the same thing. Well, here go Harry Potter, where you got this world, this incredible universe, and you got magic, you got all this. Well, that's Kitty. In what world is that Kitty?
He got a nice jacket on with some dope linens. Like, I don't get it, bro.
It goes on to say, yikes, y'all. I don't even smoke, and I feel like I need a cigarette.
everything people complain about in other games, this game does well. And yet here we are still judging them because of
Yeah, you gotta use the mind.
sticks.
They got puzzles in this game. You gotta solve things as well as follow the story and the lore.
Yeah. Remember people complain about Avengers. You put on gear, it doesn't change the way it looks.
And let me tell you something. People was getting bodied in Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, I seen a couple fights, but
yeah,
I can say though,
people was getting killed.
Some of them little boss battles was kind of cliche and corny. I ain't gonna hold that.
What game?
Well, on the game or the movie?
Hey, on the game, on the video game.
Okay. What game?
On Harry Potter. This one.
You played it.
I was watching. I will say I was watching.
Okay, so you was YouTubing.
I was
more twitching.
A little bit of twitching, and it was a battle in the forest against a giant with a club, and the attack patterns was the same. It was a 3 attack, throw a brick. You can counter the brick. Attacking with your wand and stun, and once he's stunned with the brick.
No, I mean, don't let that fool you, though, Melo.
I'm just saying. The attack patterns on. Maybe it was the start of the movie. I don't know of the game. I don't know, but attack pattern. Like I'm watching, and I'm just saying, okay, it's a 3 charge.
It's a 1, 2, 3 brick. 1, 2, 3 brick.
So look, I got the stream on, right?
You know what I'm saying?
So, take a look at this, right?
Okay, let me take this. I'm gonna stop the screen.
Gotcha.
Make it. There you go. That way they can kind of get a.
Don't attack me over your Harry Potter. You control your stick.
Okay, so on Noah's screen, he's playing the game.
Actual game, yeah.
So he's playing the actual game. On Melo's screen, he's got a trailer of the game going. Yeah. If you haven't played the game, and it's spoilers going on right now. It's a lot of spoilers going on right now. So I just want to apologize for the 65 people that's watching. These spoilers take place on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Just so these two can prove a point. And
I don't know what you got going on, Noah. You got a lot of
at least where I'm at, right? I'm at level 10. I haven't even got my broomstick yet, right? But you see these are your magic spells. You see how it's gold, purple, red. Blue, etc. Right?
So you level them up.
Well, no, some of them are locked, but the enemies you face, some of the tougher ones, they have a shield, and you can't damage them unless the magic you hit them with first matches the color. So so it gets a little complicated. Now you're dodging 3, 4, 5 different enemies, and you have to focus on the enemy and hit them with the right color spell.
Okay.
To get the shield, and
each enemy might have a different color.
Yeah. So it gets complicated. You can link combos too. So you have a spell where you can make them levitate. You can pull them in close. You can cast fire. Certain enemies are weak to certain spells. Some more resistant. So I mean, it gets more complicated. Don't let the trailers fool you. That's what you're looking at as the beginning. That's the very beginning of the game, Melo.
Okay.
But I'm noticing I'm playing on hard too.
So Harry Potter, he's none of that. I'm just saying, I saw stuff. I'm like, he was playing difficulty, and it was the same pattern and shit.
Yeah, because you're watching a tutorial. That's why you can't judge the game off the tutorial.
It was
giving you the basics.
Hey, no, I'm not that person. I know a goddamn tutorial. It was a game. The man done went through the story. He went through the dialogue. Come on now, brother.
But no, it's a lot. You know how some tutorials like they do it through the story.
Nah, it wasn't that one. It wasn't like
it was another one.
Like no, this was like a boss battle, attacking with a club in the forest part.
My bad, Suicide King. We didn't. You know,
I don't want no smoke with
I'm not spoiling no plot points. I'm just saying like the comeback has depth to it. It's not dodge, attack. Nah, things can get a little complicated.
Max City with the $10. I was just them two going on a Harry Potter battle. Max City Entertainment with the $10. I can respect that, Noah. I can respect that, Noah. That was a true gamer response since you kept it 100. I'll buy and play Hogwarts Hogwarts, Harry Potter on the Sirius X, of course.
Of course, absolutely.
I'll reserve my judgment till then. Grounded is straight fire, sleeper.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Tell him, Mac. Grounded could have been the GOATY if it wasn't for Elden Ring.
Yeah,
for real.
Okay. So we're gonna go there. I see y'all. Y'all got time today. Y'all definitely got time today. Let me I'm gonna read some of this, then we're gonna get off this, and then we're gonna move to the next topic. Okay. It says, yikes, y'all. I don't even smoke, and I feel like I need a cigarette before I get this thing started. We're here to talk about Hogwarts Legacy, and to do that, we need to discuss the whole mess. Pull up a chair, pour yourself some tea, wrap yourself in a blanket, scream into a pillow or the abyss, because this one's going to take a lot out of both of us or get heavy. Y'all see how I read that? That was fire. I do so say so myself. You know, I'm about to let me say what that brother can read, brother. Let me tell you something. Now, my pronunciation of some of this stuff might be, let me say Harry Potter Legacy, that's what I'm gonna call it, is a third-person action RPG set in the same universe as the classic Harry Potter series of children's books, in case you need a refresher. Blah, blah, blah. Let me see within the pages of books. Okay, when you
you want to post the article on the screen? Post.
Yeah, this is. Let me see. Okay, I can put it back on the screen. I can put it back on the screen. I was just gonna, but I can put it back on the screen. All right, so here we go. When I was a kid, there's a comment right there, so you got to pause. That pause was fire though. Let me stop this stuff. When I was a kid, every word that flowed from J.K. Rowling's pen wrote magic into my world. But now every word she puts out just hurts my heart. Right there, that's personal. Every homophobic or transphobic thing queer kids hear growing up becomes a voice that follows them for a long time. We hear relatives, friends, and parents say awful things about us and to us. So in this case, that lets me know that the person that's writing this article is either it's a part of the LGBTQ community. I'll just say that. That just let me know right there. So I understand the approach of the article now. All right. We hear relative, friends, and parents say awful things about us and to us. For a lot of us, we fight those voices every day. When one of those voices come from the author who taught you about accepting yourself, a person you thought truly saw you and kids like you, it hurts in a way I honestly hope she never understands. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. I don't hate her. It would honestly be easier if I did. Inside me somewhere, there's a kid who still loves her despite everything. That kid has a lot of experience loving people who hurt her. She never asks why. She just wants to know what she did wrong and how she can fix it. It's hard to tell her there's nothing left to fix and that there are places we can't return to, places like Hogwarts or Harry Potter. I don't like the way I pronounced that.
Oh man.
I don't like the way I pronounced that. So off back, this lets me know this article, the person who he, she, them, or they, the person that the person that wrote this article is a part of the LGBTQ community. I don't know if that was by choice or if they wanted to kind of do it because they are the part of their community and they wanted to express their feelings through this review. And I think that's what's happening. That's what happened. That's what happens there. Or what is happening here. Let's see here. McDickens with the $10. F the letter mafia. Not only did I buy Hogwarts, I bought some Chick-fil-A too. Later, I'm going to post a picture of myself holding the game, Chick-fil-A, and my Bible, and wearing my biology shirt.
We're past it. We're past the way you need them.
Oh man! You know what? Nope. Nope. Said we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna take this off the screen. We're gonna move on to the next topic. We're gonna move on to the next. Noah says it's a good game. You should try it if you want to try it.
Absolutely.
You're about 12 hours in, right, Noah?
Probably about 5 or 6.
5 or 6. Okay.
5 or 6 hours. There you go.
It's 5 or 6 hours so far.
Game,
you know what I'm saying? He say it's worth it. You feel? Yeah. If you gonna buy, you gonna buy it. If you gonna boycott it, you gonna boycott it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how we roll. I'm not gonna take neither side. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be neutral in this perspective, in this stance, so we can respect both sides' opinions. Okay, you know what I'm saying. So let me take that off the screen. We gonna move on. Where's the other link? Okay, we gonna move along to Fable. Fable being playable, y'all. Fable is playable. Let me bring up.
Oh wait, before I get my thoughts about the article.
Huh?
What?
Y'all were talking about the article. I thought we was gonna touch base on how we felt about that about the scoring and the feelings about the article.
That's his own space.
Hold on. Let me see. Go ahead, do that. My girl called in.
Go ahead. Oh shit.
I just wanted to say, man, like I'm glad it's happening because it's starting to expose the integrity of a lot of these mainstream journalists. We're starting to see their bias, personal opinions, and things that aren't even relevant to the things they're supposed to be reviewing and writing about. And I just hope people start to really pay attention to that when they're using these reviews and scores to brag about certain games and titles, things like that. That's what I want to say about it. Is it BS? Yeah, it's bullshit.
I'd rather use the opportunity and time to attack this on a fanboy standpoint.
Yeah, bro. Like you got to take the positive with the negative, bro. Like, pay attention. This not the first time it happened. It might be like the most obvious time it's happened, bro. They scored. You had a publisher. You had a team of journalists score down Hi-Fi Rush because Xbox didn't have any games the previous year. We've seen games get scored down because too much water. We've seen games get scored down because 900p. I mean, those are just a few examples. So I hope people are paying attention.
I'm doing like this, and let me keep it straight to the point. For journalists, play the games that you want to play, and you have your own opinion about the game. And
I agree. I agree, Mello. But you and I both know
middle ground mess.
There's this thing called influence, man. Some people are easily influenced, some people aren't.
It's called having your own mind. If you're interested in something, if you see something that you're interested in, you invest. This is one of the reasons why Game Pass is so well needed, because we don't get the demo discs in the mail anymore and the magazine covers at the store. So you're able to pay for a subscription and experiment with a video game before you put all of your time into it. If it ain't something that you like, you can easily turn it off.
Exactly. And I don't think a game should be scored down because of someone's personal opinion. That lady, J.K. Rowling, she has very little to do with this game.
It's kind of hard to pull the biasness out of that, though. I can't front because we in Black History Month, and if we were journalists in a sense, and they had a video game that was chucking and jiving watermelon and big lips, and we find it offensive.
But this game isn't doing any of that. Like, I don't think people realize that she has very little influence on the development of this game. She just created the world and the IP, but
But it's the IP. That's the point. It's the IP. It's the name of Harry Potter in the books, and she will get some type of percentage off of this game, regardless of how well it sells or if it flops. It doesn't matter. And it's offensive to those individuals. Sorry to say it. Now, do you agree with it? No, I don't agree with it. The game should be judged on the merit of if it's a good game or not. I'm with that.
I still think, regardless of the
Politics
situation,
is going to always be politics.
As a journalist, you have the duty to review the game for what it is, not about the politics.
Yeah, it's what it is. They carry they stuff like that all the time. We've heard reports that hey, journalists get access to games early, or they get paid a payola to say something new to this community for reviewing or having a positive opinion about something, regardless of how negative it may be or not. It's the same thing here. All you have is an individual that was probably part of a community, had somebody related to it, and they expressed their biasness towards the game. You're playing the game, and that biasness ain't stopping you from playing it. That's how it should be. I'm just saying, it's just an opinion. It's just an opinion. So
yeah.
I ain't taking no sides on it.
He said this is different, Mello. I agree with Zink. I mean, we have our opinions, but I agree with Zink.
This is different, Zink. Hey, man.
Half-hour rush, Goldie. I agree with that. And people do have a hive mind mindset nowadays. Hey, you know what, Black man, you're right, man. People have to be told to like a game or to not just games though. People have to be told to like music, like certain artists, fashions, and
oh, like, you see the red boots that's going out here, the Astro Boy boots.
Oh man, I seen that.
Mama wearing them, bro. Man.
Yeah, I ain't feeling that shit.
Ain't no more boy.
Yeah, I ain't feeling that shit, bro. But yeah, bro, like
big money.
Well, since post is here, I give an example, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to
that right when now. I was in high school, I went up to the city. I went to Atlanta, and I heard I got to hear that Crime Mob Nuck If You Buck like months before it hit radio waves, and I took it to school. I let people listen to it. They told me that song was so trash. I said that shit garbage. As soon as it started playing on the radio, the song was a hit. Everybody loved the song, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that let me know right there, like people have to be like, they have to get the okay to like some shit, bro.
And it's sad that you got to get the okay.
Yeah, it is a high mind mentality.
ATL Black people roasted Christina Michelle for singing at Trump inauguration for hoping he would do better. He picked and chose outrage based on our personal opinions. Yeah, there you go. We pick and choose. Yeah, we pick and. That's why I was trying to tell Post do not go down this rabbit hole because it can get ugly. Especially looking at this game and then what she said, it's heavy. So, especially this day and time. Black Knight, what's a wand to an AK though? Pixels. It's the same thing, bro. Y'all gotta stop with this. Oh, it's a stick shooting fire and lasers. It's a kid game. Like, it's just pixels, man. It's a video game, bro.
Got some new gloves. I don't know what you talking about.
Like, man.
Got some new gloves.
I don't see
they low level gloves. Oh no, that's some high level shit. I just can't wear it yet.
I say this much. Hopefully everybody agree this part. Since they trying to stay woke and be in an uproar about this video game, maybe this is the thing that'll kickstart them to be more focused on important things in the matter of the world. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? The game is fun, period. Exactly. That's what
matters at the end of the day.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. I sent my lady. Damn, what the camera's out like that for? I sent my lady out to get to take my girls to get them some shoes and stuff. And you know, my young daughter, you know, all these Nikes and Vans and all these type of shoes in the store, and she pick out a pair of Champions. Yeah, well, you know, I just say if that's what you like,
there you go. There you go. That's
then get what you like.
That's what
we're not gonna. If that's what you like, get what you like. You know, but be open to styles and what's for the, what I'm saying. But if you like a pair of Champions, get you a pair of Champions. I ain't gonna knock you.
The only thing I say is how many fish you got to go with those shoes.
You feel exactly. You know what I'm saying? So we back. ATL with the $5. Thank you for the support, brother, or ma'am, or well, I don't know, brother, or ma'am. I don't know. You just from Atlanta. Shout out to Atlanta for the support. All right.
Like I haven't had much time.
Okay. And look, shout out to Delight HD. Make a great point. They haven't had this much outrage for her other business of ventures.
See, I don't know what she got. So that's one venture she got out the books.
Hey, you don't become a billion. Hey, you all types of ventures. I'm just saying, she's gonna be a billionaire.
See, that'd be the thing, Post. And just a little sidebar, just a little bit of the rabbit hole here, just a little bit.
Hey, no, see, we're Paul bending off this. But Northern running back.
Man, I just wanted to give my input, man.
You just want to give your input. Okay, go ahead, Mello. Go ahead, Mello. Go ahead, do your thing, brother.
That's it. A little bit water on the napkin.
Go ahead, put that water that grass, brother.
With Robert Kelly, we gonna use Robert Kelly.
Oh Lord, this brother breaking all.
They wanted to boycott his music.
Oh wow, this is what we do here.
But y'all didn't want to boycott the people that he ghostwrited for. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Oh,
get a lot
of
good
point.
Oh, that's a good point. Hey, that's a fire point.
Yeah, man.
Rabbit hole.
You got people out there. You got people out there singing songs.
Hey,
still supporting songs. He wrote.
Houston. I'm just gonna fall back though. I'm gonna fall back. I'm just saying.
Everybody gonna crack their Muhammad Ali movies.
Come on now.
Ali Blu-rays and DVDs.
We gonna leave that alone. That's just a little bit of the rabbit hole.
Told me.
That boy was good.
Hey, yo, I was bumping some Maxwell. I was bumping some Maxwell the other day. I didn't know R. Kelly wrote for Maxwell.
He wrote for everybody.
He wrote for everybody.
He wrote for everybody. He wrote for all of them. All of them. Mike, all of them.
We talk
y'all still with a Mike video
early to the 90s.
I don't know the lyric. I forgot. I forgot the lyric. That's what black people do. They don't know something like that.
You gotta make up your own words.
You gotta make up your own words. You feel me? But yeah, that's a good point. That is and you know what? I never thought about that like that, brother. I ain't never thought about. They boycott his music, took all his music off all the streaming services, and left the music that he wrote on the services. And then you got people out there that saying, "I don't listen to it." You do. You still do listen to it.
Yes,
you just don't know it.
All the Keisha Coles and Ray Michelle.
Oh man, yo, that's a good point. And it's like I said the last show. If you're gonna boycott one thing, boycott everything.
What that mean? They got to do some research, and a lot of people don't do that research.
You're gonna boycott one thing, boycott everything. Because
go back to what Noah said. They only go for what's presented to them to boycott. So yeah, you're right, Noah. I take that back. You're right. If they're not telling them to boycott something or like something, they don't do it. Yeah.
Okay. So what's this? This is the. No, that's the Ubisoft stuff. We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna move on. But that was a great point. That was a great point, Delilah. I think people pick and choose what in their favor, what's favorable to them in terms of what they approve of and what they disapprove of, right? And a lot of times, a lot of things happen in society, and a lot of people turn a blind eye to it. And until it affects them or something I will say this, until it affects them, then, No, we're just gonna, we're gonna have to, because I want to go there, but I'm not. I want to go there, but I'm not.
Big money.
Let me see. Okay, so let me do this here. Let me do this here. Shout out to my brother Big Money. Big Money. Big Money was the name that they gave him.
Shout out to Big Money.
Big Money with the support. Thank you, brother. I don't know what I did to this camera. What did I do to this camera? There we go. Oh, I put it on. You had me up there. Y'all was up close and personal for a minute. I know I look sexy. You feel me? I know I'm handsome, but I didn't want to get y'all too close. You feel me? I just had to back you off just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? All right. Shout out to Big Money for the $15, man. Thank you for supporting the channel. I hope everything is good with you, brother. You know what I'm saying? You've been checking on me via text and stuff like that, and I appreciate that, brother.
Bro, man.
Yeah, Big Money is a good dude, man.
Yeah. And he loved Game Pass. Don't let him tell you.
Yeah, he's a pony. Let me tell you something.
Yeah. We didn't caught this man in multiple lives. Didn't we, Post? Multiple fields.
Big Money, my brother, Big Money. And I'm sorry I got to put you out here like this, brother, before we get to this Fable news. Right? But I got to put you out here, brother, because you just dropped $15 in the super chat. You feel me? Big Money is a pony on the surface. He is an Xbox in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
It's in his soul. It's in that brother's soul. Right? That brother come on Z show. That brother will talk a lot of PlayStation stuff. This and that and God of War. See, The Last of Us this and The Last of Us that, right? And when soon the cameras and the mics is off, hey Bello, what y'all got in Game Pass?
I'm going to go play State of Decay 2.
Game Pass helping me save a lot of money. I'm so glad I got Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to pay $70 for all these games. I can kind of pick and choose what. Hey, that brother was praising Game Pass behind the scenes.
When I heard that,
man, I ain't never seen a pony on the surface talk about Game Pass in that matter. You feel me?
He was playing State of Decay 2 in 2023. I almost fell out.
Said it's 20. And guess what?
Guess
what made it so funny that he was that he told me and Mello he was playing State of Decay 2. You know what? He still hadn't beat God of War Ragnarok. So he chose.
Ooh,
you feel me? He chose State of Decay 2 over God of War Ragnarok.
Ain't no way, boy. That's a whole pony right there.
Ain't no way.
Boy.
2-piece mild sauce with the fries. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Big Thickies with the $5. My problem is this. What JK said was facts. These woke warriors are tripping. There was nothing inaccurate about what she said. They can kick rocks. Yeah, McThick is out here. McThick is out here.
Opinion.
The opinions of the chat do not reflect the opinions of the panel.
Hey, you know it. Hey, Apollo, what's good? Apollo? Let me see here. The other Zeke said, I know. I was just talking to her on the phone and say, look, you know, I didn't want to tell her that she shouldn't got the shoe. Because sometimes my daughter get emotional and she get to crying and stuff like that. So I didn't want to tell her that she shouldn't get the shoe. And matter of fact, let me text my lady to say, get Ruby. Get both 2 pairs, a backup shoe just in case.
Hey, I don't know how it was.
All right, I just said thank you, Other Zinc. Give them 2 pairs, give up the backup shoes just in case. But go ahead, Noah.
No, I was just gonna say I don't know how it was when y'all was in school, like in middle school. But them niggas, bro, middle schools have no filter, bro.
Yeah, and that's. But my daughter, and so we're getting sidetracked again. But I want to say this: my daughter Ruby, she don't care. She don't care what people say about her in terms of what she have on, what she
that's what's up.
like.
Though.
She is into who she is and what she like, and you can't tell her nothing.
That's good.
You feel me?
That's a bar.
And so
that's
when I seen when I was like, you know, it's at the and my lady was like, you know, she about to cry. I knew that was her way of saying, look, let me be me. You feel me? Just let me be me. And so I, you know, say go. I say get what you like. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Because I know you have the mental fortitude to not care about what people think about you. So yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get there. These kids is built different. They built different now. He said, what we doing? Hold on, before I get to the next super chat, Big Money said, I did some sucker the other day, post up. Know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. No, we're talking about, I owe down lessons. I owe down lessons learned for me. You should never ever be scared to show your family love. PlayStation, Microsoft still ain't shit. Big Money, I know what you're talking about. That's a you me thing, and I appreciate you for that, brother. I appreciate you for that. And everything you just said is facts. Never let someone dictate that, because you are you. You feel me? And I appreciate that, brother. Love you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. I know y'all don't understand, but me and him understand. Me and him.
Hey, y'all got y'all on.
You feel me?
Rock and roll with it.
Yeah. Mac City Entertainment with the $10. My boy Mac is back. Return of the Mac. Yes. Hey, I'm gonna have to get that. I'm gonna get that audio, brother. But every time you super chat, we gonna play Return of the Mac, brother, specifically for you, brother. The baddest bot in the land. Mac City Entertainment with the $10. I'm just gonna say for the record, I hope y'all brothers can work out y'all issues. I love seeing y'all eat together. 100, not my place to get in the middle, so I'm gonna fall back respectfully. The bullies. Hey, I can appreciate that, Mac, and I can respect that, and I love the fact that you can support both movements and what we're all trying to do and what we all trying to accomplish, and that you're not trying to pick a side. You're remaining neutral, and that's what it's all about. Issues occur and things like that. They'll eventually work themselves out. Shout out to Apollo Cooper. You know what I'm saying? Man went to the moon. Left his footprints on the moon, brother. Apollo with the $2. We gonna be in suits when the Starfield event drops. Yeah, we gonna be in a 2-piece suit.
Yeah.
Suited and booted. What do you mean? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Let me bring this up because it's this Twitter account on let me do this here. Let me bring this over here, and then I'll share this on the screen. I love this paste and go feature.
Y'all got it.
I'm gonna continue as post, and we could
amazing.
Okay, let me do this here. Okay, let me grab that. Do this here. Now we're gonna share this screen, and we're gonna do this here. Oh, let me minimize that real quick. And we're gonna share. All right. I know y'all can see this. Let me do this here. Whitehead Studios. You can see this here. All right. It says Fable is already in a playable state. Playground Games producer VJ Gill said he is preparing and facilitating regular game playthroughs and build reviews with key stakeholders. They said they told me that Fable wouldn't come out until 2028, 80, 40, 30, 100,000 years later. They said 2026. 2027. They said it wasn't going to never come out, but the Game Pass, God said different. Now, let me I want to say this. Means a chat in every show, as I say Game Pass. Drop a Game Pass in the chat. Drop a Game Pass in the chat. Now, I do want to say this. There's been a lot of controversy around Microsoft, its studios, its developers, the management of them studios and developers. And with that, people assumptions of the state of games, the state of the games the state the games are in, particularly.
State of the game.
Yeah, the state of the games, or the state the games are in, all right? And you hear, and I'm gonna say this, man. One thing I will say this, and let me take this off screen because we didn't see that. I want to say this. Halo should be a stark lesson in terms of when things come out and you believe them versus what is actually going on. Okay, give me just a second. Let me blow my nose.
Yeah, you do that. Shout out to the chat, gang. We got Fable, y'all. I'm just saying, I'm predicting right now we're gonna be seeing either footage or visual playthrough of Fable, just a little bit.
E3.
Easily.
I think we finally get a look at if it's in a playable state, right? Mm-hmm. And he's testing builds and review builds and things like that. If it's in a playable state at the moment, I think we finally get to see what Fable is, what it looks like, what direction they are taking this year E3. And I think if Hell, what if Hellblade 2 don't drop it? What if they say fall? Hey, Fable fall 2023.
Nah. Fable coming out.
I'm going too far.
Yeah, you doing
too far. I'm doing too much. Well, take it away because my girl is calling.
Take a little dip off your chip. Take a little dip off the chip now. I say the presentation gonna drop 2023. We will most likely get the game hopefully in 2024. I'm rocking. It matches up with the quarterly, especially seeing that we haven't seen Fable since God knows when. Noah, I have a question for you though, brother. I have a question.
What's up, bro?
Are we gonna get the Fable that they did the bombfoolery with, or we gonna get the MMO action Fable? That's my big question there.
I think this gonna be something, and it's just me guessing, but I think they finna go all out with this Fable. They got Playground Studios working on it. I think it's gonna be something. I think it's gonna be closer to what Fable originally was, like the trilogy, but with a whole new spin on it. That's my guess.
And oh man, well, he ain't here either. But I wanted to ask the guys: do y'all think the expeditiously enhancements of Fable did it come from the Unreal Engine 5 being announced and actually being used for this game?
Okay, I'm back. All right, so I was what we got here? Let me take that off screen. Let me get this other super chat. Shout out to Moneybag97 with the $5. Love y'all and dirt. Love y'all and dirt. Xbox baby. Love design some stuff. Love to design some stuff for y'all. Yes, Moneybag97 hit me up on in the DMs on Twitter, and we can definitely
basis.
Yeah, we got a lot. We juggling a lot of stuff right now. So if you can help in that area, do so. You know what I'm saying? Let us know what it is, and then we'll take care of you. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So all right. So this is where we at. What did y'all leave? Because I know y'all was talking about it before.
I touched a little bit of basis on the expectations of the release date, which is 2023. We see presentation at E3. 2024, most likely the game drop. I asked Noah, how did he feel about the direction? Are they gonna come with that bum knockoff version of Evolve when they had the enemies playing as real people?
You
talking about Fable Legends?
When that Fable that they was trying to come out
that
with.
Was Fable Legends. That was Fable Legends.
And then, will it go back to the action MMO, or
I think it's gonna be an RPG. I think it's gonna be a true life Fable game that's that's brought back to life. I think it's gonna be a new stepping stone for the IP moving forward. I do agree with the other Zinc because from what we was told that Fable was in development hell. They told us that and right now they're saying it's in a playable state. So that means that all this time we got to be careful what we believe. We can't believe everything that comes out because a lot of that stuff about Halo wasn't true in the team and stuff. And like that, a lot of that stuff y'all said 343 was wasn't gonna be making Halo no more. That they're gonna be pretty much become a secondary studio where they just allow other third-party games to make Halo, and then they come out and say, "Nah, we still creating the multiplayer, and we still gonna we gotta stop this." And y'all only do this with Microsoft studios. If y'all haven't said anything about Factions, which was probably announced in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, that y'all ain't seen, and it's 2023, and the only thing they showed y'all was a screenshot. Y'all ain't saying Naughty Dog is in development hell.
Crayons to Pegboard.
You feel me? So
I was
I'm just saying
up on that one.
Yeah, we gotta stop believing everything. And if that game is in a playable state right now, that means that it could be close to coming out next year. Which I agree with Mello. If it's in a playable state now, fall next year, early next year, middle, somewhere along that, it could drop next year. And then you starting to see, then you go Deathloop, Redfall, Ghostwire Tokyo, Forza Motorsport, Starfield. If Hellblade 2 get dropped later on this year, then you go into 2024 with Fable. You still got Oblivion, not Oblivion. I said Oblivion, but Obsidian working on Avowed, and y'all forgot the other joint, the part 2 they doing, which is going to be exclusive to like you're starting to see the pattern in Microsoft get into a rhythm. I think Bethesda is in a rhythm right now. Their release cadence is incredible right now, from Deathloop to Ghostwire Tokyo, drop Hi-Fi Rush, then you finna go into Redfall, Starfield. They like y'all gotta look at Bethesda, and this is the studio that you all said when they initially was acquired by Microsoft was dog shit.
Yep.
Buggy games, a buggy mess. Everything they put out got bugs in it, barely playable. And then they drop a game like Hi-Fi Rush under Microsoft with no prop, clean, crispy, Ruffles potato chips. What are we talking about? What are we doing here? Stop it.
Like this since Nintendo. You hear me? This game is clean.
You feel me? Y'all gotta stop and look at what Bethesda is. Y'all don't see it. Deathloop got nominated for Game of the Year. Ghostwire Tokyo. It wasn't a big game, but it was a terrible game. Hi-Fi Rush dropped. They're calling that Game of the Year. Redfall should have a big impact. Starfield already been talked about being Game of the Year. In the gamers that's testing the game to make sure it come out the way it's supposed to, say it's even more amazing than what they expected. Like, look at what Bethesda is, how they are carrying Microsoft right now. And that doing, and by the time all that hit, right? You got Hellblade 2, Smack Lady. You start hearing about Avowed and Fable early next year, or probably at this year E3, and expect them in 2024, right? Then the roadmap gets better because you could go games all the way up into 2025, 2026, when you get into Elder Scroll and
bruh.
Yeah, and then you add the acquisition of Active. Y'all better stop playing with Xbox.
You talking about millions of active cult following gamers.
Y'all better stop playing with Xbox.
Them boys, man.
The roadmap is strong. I don't know if y'all see what I see, maybe, but Bethesda is really carrying right now, and they doing a good enough job to allow the other studios to get it to get what they're doing situated. Then when they start trickling, then you bring in Activision, right? You put Call of Duty on 2 years. What's that? Then you bring in Activision, right? You put Call of Duty on a 2-year hiatus, right? Because you want to get some time in between the releases, right? But you also want to free up the other studios, like Phil Spencer talk about, to create and do the games that they want to do and make what they want to. Man, bro, y'all better put some respect on it. I know y'all don't see it, and I understand y'all gonna say if the game is not out, if we can't physically play it, if we don't have a release date, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? Yeah, factions that was talked about in 2018, 2019 ain't out. Ain't had a release date. You don't know when it's coming out. You don't know when they gonna talk about it. All they showed y'all was a screenshot, but y'all looking forward to the game though. But y'all clowned us for having games that's probably in a similar state in terms of we haven't really seen, like Avowed. We haven't even seen that much from Avowed, but we get the Xbox community get clowned for looking forward because we don't have a release date and we haven't seen anything of the game. Well, y'all ain't seen anything of factions, but a concept. We got a CGI video. At least we can say that to kind of to at least get an idea of what the game is gonna be like. Y'all just got a screenshot. So
one thing we do know is Avowed gonna be free day one in Game Pass. We don't know what factions are gonna cost.
Stop doing the free mess. We pay for games, my brother.
Well, you know it. Well, included. Is that
included?
Is that better? Included.
We got to start with that narrative. You pay for Game Pass.
All inclusive.
Enjoy the content.
Moneybag 97 with the $2. Imagine Xbox add a Sobo after ABK. Oh, well, you know they got like a 10-year contract with Microsoft for the what's the name game, the flight simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Okay.
They got a 10-year contract with them, and then they also work with the Forza team because they use the Forza engine. It's crazy that the Flight Simulator was created by the Forza engine. That's incredible. That's incredible. That shows you the flexibility of the engine, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm pretty sure they used the Forza engine to create the game. I do think Asobo should come under Microsoft. You already got a 10-year contract with them in terms of yeah. So you might as well. I don't know. They might want to stay independent. Shout out to Apollo Cooper with the $5. Don't forget about Indiana
Jones.
Indiana Jones Takeover's T's and Evil Within 3. ID Software has an unannounced game in development. Like, stop!
Contraband.
Stop! Why y'all doing this?
It's too many games. It's too many games. Y'all,
it's just too much. It's just too much. It's just too much, man. It's too much, man. I don't know how you can look. You can hate on Microsoft. You can say they don't have no games and stuff like that, but Bethesda is in a rhythm, is in a groove right now. Hopefully, the other studios, when they start ready to talk about what they're working on, State of the K3, all that stuff, and everybody is in the same cohesive rhythm. Now, I don't know what narratives are y'all going to come up with. All I know is Big Money, my brother Big Money, is glad that he subscribed to Game Pass.
It's going to be the next part. My AAAs. It drop a flame here. Ain't too much grass on the field.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're going to do that. We're going to move on to the next topic. I'm going to bring this up too because this was took off of, let's see here. Where is it? And this guy, this account has, and I don't know if y'all follow this account on Twitter, but y'all should because they be having a lot of inside information and they be announcing, especially with Xbox and stuff like that. I've been subscribed to this account for a minute, and I think this account existed even before the snitch came along. Yeah, my bad. I ain't this. Okay, this right. Let me do this here, and I think this was taken off. Yeah, here we go. Let me bring this up. Thank you all for being patient. Okay. Y'all can see the screen. This Lumia account right here on Twitter, they be getting access to a lot of inside stuff. I know people probably not familiar with this account. Yeah, but if you go look at their tweet history, they have been on point on more than one occasion. I will say that. And they have a Microsoft Store product ID, CFQ7TTC0QH5H, description. Play more great games with Ubisoft Plus. Right? So there's a rumor. Well, we already know it's not a rumor, but we know that Ubisoft Plus is coming to Xbox. There was also, I guess it's coming soon based on that product ID and that store description. The question was whether it was gonna come to the Xbox outside of Game Pass or in Game Pass. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a rumor recently that showed that it might launch in Game Pass. I'm not sure about that. Okay, so take this with a grain of salt. Okay, take this with a grain of salt. We have this here. Let me bring this here up too. I'm gonna take this here, and I'm gonna go here, and we're gonna switch it to this website. Okay. We got Ubisoft Plus on Xbox will feature over 60 games. Here's the full list. Ubisoft Plus look like it will launch for console soon. And we now have a new list of games that will be available with Ubisoft Plus on Xbox. I think Microsoft probably can push, given what Ubisoft is going through right now, financially, and the issues that they've recently announced with their finances and canceling games and stuff like that, and the owner coming out blaming the developers and all that type of stuff. I think there's a chance. I know Phil is caught up in this Activision acquisition, but peekaboo, you know what I'm saying? Sidestep.
Look a little bit.
Just look over. Yeah, to your right. Yeah, to your right over there. Him right there in the corner. Yeah, him over there in the corner. Go holler at him because they ain't doing so good over there. You know what I'm saying? Their market value is down around $2 billion. Now we're not asking you to acquire them right now because that'll really, kind of mess up what you already doing with Activision. Okay, but just what I'm saying. Look, y'all look like y'all need some bread. You feel me? Y'all look like y'all need some bread. This bread look like it could help y'all, with your games that y'all already, just put Ubisoft Plus and Game Pass. We got y'all. We'll drop that bag on you. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a yearly or monthly bag, you will get it. It's like food stamps, they come on time. You know what I'm saying? It's like like the government.
Payments every month, you feel me?
Like public housing, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Do you think them canceling their games is kind of affecting that situation? Because, and I say that because it is looking at prior games, didn't sell too much, didn't sell too well. You know what I'm saying? The only game I can really think of that I want from them is Splinter Cell, but they are gun-ho on not trying to give me a Splinter Cell for whatever reason.
Yeah, they refuse to make the game that everybody wants.
I don't get it. No, I swear to God, I don't. Like people were screaming at you, "Hey, make this game." You see, remakes and remasters is what people want. Give us.
Nah, we're gonna give you Riders Republic. That's what we're gonna
Give
do.
us Spy versus Spy. But they like it. Nah, you don't give.
You mean Spy versus Merc? Imagine that on the scale of big. What they got? What you call that joint?
On the Series X.
No, I'm talking about. Oh, why is she? Let me tell her to stop. Hold on.
What you talking about, Siri? Shut up. Yeah,
what Siri?
It's like they just don't. Them and EA, they like neck and neck of just not giving people what they want. I don't get them at all.
I don't know, bro. It's kind of like James Gunn, bro. This whole DCU.
It's like
everybody wants Henry Cavill.
6.
Nah,
that's barely holding these guys up. Cause that's the only game I see that get the most updates is Rainbow Six. Every time I turn around, it's a new update. They got another character. They didn't redid some boards. But all the other games, the Far Cry, trash. I'm just gonna be honest. Everybody tired of that. Assassin's Creed ain't doing no movement. Ain't shaking and jiving like you used to. I don't get these guys, bro.
I ain't gonna lie to. I mean, I feel like Assassin's Creed was better back when it started, but it still sells like crazy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take nothing from it, but the last time I took I'm just saying my personal gameplay of it. The last time I took Assassin's Creed serious was Odyssey, if that I believe. So it's like, and then I could barely stomach through going through Far Cry 6 and 5. So it's like, when y'all gonna finally give us the games we want? Like I don't get it. I really don't.
Me neither, bro. I don't know the financials behind it or why they can't make another Splinter Cell. Let's see what the chat talking about.
That's the
haven't played Assassin's Creed since like the 360. Yeah, the 360 games were the best, man. Like 1 and 2. They were the best. Far Cry and Assassin's Creed are amazing. I like the old formula with Assassin's Creed. I like the newer Far Cry games, though. So they're making different ones, and one is like they're trying to make Assassin's Creed like more stealth, and then they got the more action ones. Prince of Persia of Assassin's Creed, I actually agree. I like Prince of Persia back on the OG Xbox days.
They botched the Division. They talking about going mobile with that, man. So it's like,
all right, I'm back. They
just get it, bro.
All right. So let me see here. We got all the Assassin's Creeds, Battleship, Boggle, Child of Light, Family Feud, also family stuff. For all the Far Cry's 3 through 6, Dawn, Primal, Fighter Within, For Honor, Grow Up, Hungry. I don't even know. Rabbits, Rami Legend, Steep, the Crew 2, Tom Clancy, all the Tom Clancy's, the Breaking Point, the Wildlands, the Rainbow Six Extraction, the Division 2, like this. I'm looking Watchdog Legion, Watch Dogs 2, Wheel of Fortune, like would you pay $2 billion for this?
No.
I don't see $2 billion.
No, but knowing Phil and his mindset of saving internally games and keeping these of whole afloat.
I'm just gonna be honest.
Just for that.
I know Rainbow Six is doing this.
I did get some good news. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still in production. They have not ended the production due to the lead designer and writer going off in the woods.
You know how long that's been in production, though?
I know.
For a long time, like forever.
I'm telling you, is it gonna ever come? That'll probably be what's that game that released on PlayStation after the years?
Last Guardian.
That's like the new Last Guardian.
Again, as a fan of Beyond Good and Evil, I'm happy to know that the game was not in. It was in development hell, but they have been and was continually working on that game. So no telling how soon or how far they is into it. But that can be something that, if they fuck this bill with Phil, you feel me?
Hey, Mello.
That in Game Pass.
Mello.
I'm just saying.
Keep hope alive.
Right.
Keep hoping. Keep wishing and praying. But you're hoping, wishing, and praying right now. You is hoping, wishing, and praying.
Let me have my dream, man. Let me have my dream, brother.
You ain't seen nothing about that game in umpteen years, and you sitting up here trying to tell us that you can't have that. You can't have the energy you didn't have for factions and be up here trying to tell us to keep hope alive when it comes to Beyond Good and Evil too.
I hope that fraction's gonna drop. So I'm just saying, I want to keep the same energy. I'm the individual that's hoping that a soul come drop. You get me? I'm that person. So I'm just saying, the game is still in production. I'm hoping it drops, and if it do, Phil's gonna give them that little bread to bring that in Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? That's another game to be in the look for. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
I mean, day one in Game Pass.
Max City Entertainment with the $2. Origin, Odyssey, Valhalla. I hated the other ones. Okay.
Yeah.
And you might talking about Assassin's Creed. I'm saying, and I'm gonna ask y'all, the panel in the chat. The chat, I want y'all to let me know when y'all look at this lineup of games and IPs. Some of the other game rabbits, like the Mario version they got with Nintendo, that stuff is not on here. When you look at these lineup of games, do you see a $2 billion company? When I'm talking about a company you will spend $2 billion on or more to acquire.
You want to answer, Noah, or you want me to answer?
Nah, I don't see $2 billion worth.
I get 800 million to $1 billion and call it a day.
For $2 billion, I see it.
You see $2 billion?
You see two?
I see two B's, and I'm gonna tell you why I see two B's. Because you when it comes into these type of negotiations, you going off not what the potential of what they got in the future, or what the potential of what they did in the past. And when I look at games like Rainbow Six, made in their tournaments and the competitive aspect of it, it brings in numbers. The Assassin's Creed has done numbers. Can you go another route with it? Maybe, like you said, you got the Prince of Persia IP that's still there. Everybody wants Splinter Cell. So if I buy it, I invest in getting that game out. It's an opportunity to get it there. Also, they got some IPs on the Ubisoft. We might not like them, but they're there. You got the Skull and Bone game, which can probably help out with Sea of Thieves. And long story short, they got some talent.
Somebody help this man.
Oh, and
somebody
in Division. Division is a good game.
Somebody help this man. He tried.
Only two B's, man. They got
he gonna fall off that bed if you keep reaching for that nightstand trying to get that glass of water. Somebody in the chat, please help this man come up with a reason.
I got another one though. Too. Ooh, look at this.
What's up?
Ubisoft has experience in mobile as well, so they actually are beneficial to Microsoft.
So what they doing on the mobile side?
They got mobile games there.
What mobile games?
They just got mobile games. It's the only thing I'm banking on. I'm banking on that they have experience in mobile games.
Yeah.
Hello. You ain't gonna do this to me right now while we got company posts.
Yo,
bad. I'm just saying, if Sony can spend what they spent for goddamn what's that game, Bungie, 2 B's ain't bad, man. Come on now.
But you know what the crazy thing about it though? If Microsoft were to get Ubisoft, they will be required to keep all them IPs and stuff multi-plat. But PlayStation, on the other hand, if Sony were to get them, they could have a field day with that company.
I disagree with that. I don't think
I want the money to come in. Oh, and don't forget Ghost Recon. Ghost Recon is a seller. Mark my words. God damn it. Wildlands. Open world shooter. We know we love our shooters on Xbox. 2B easily.
Look, I don't see it, brother. Maybe
City Watchdog.
Go ahead.
Dropping bars. They work 2Bs. Come on.
You tried, bro. You tried to come back. You couldn't name not another cell phone game that
hey. What's that? Rayman mobile. Rayman is on mobile. Boom. Got you. Fuck you talking about? I'm him, nigga. I am him.
Rayman.
He tried, y'all.
Is that the only mobile game they got?
Hey, bless his heart. He tried, y'all. Let me look at the chat because it looked like. Hold on. It looked like the chat is trying to help you out, brother. Let me look at it.
Thank you, Chief.
Let me say I think it's worth $2 billion, but I do think it can make movies and stuff out of it. $500 million. Wow. Yo, Mac said $1 billion. What we got here? Valhalla sold like hotcakes is worth. So you're saying because of Valhalla is worth $2 billion?
Not just Valhalla. Ooh, the Just Dance joints.
Rainbow Six Siege is huge. Okay. I do games, service. Okay. I say laughing in the security say 1.5. Will we have to pay extra Ubisoft Plus and Game Pass? I don't think it's coming to Game Pass. When they was asked about that, they stated that that it was not coming to Game Pass. That was going to come to Xbox and PlayStation as a separate service. But anything could change between now when they made that announcement. So what's going on now? They over there financially. Their market value has dropped, bro. Like it's dropped. So, if Phil made that call, like y'all got some problems over there. So let's drop that back, put this in the Game Pass. You feel me? I'm not from the game list that this game list right here. Hold on, where is it? Right here.
I'm just saying that while you doing that in the negotiation.
I'm not investing no money into this with this list.
What? Oh, you tripping? I'm just saying with
Rainbow Six that was in Game Pass. It probably still is. The Division in Game Pass probably still is. If I'm not mistaken, Division 2 I think was in there. I think Watch Dogs was in there. Like you got a lot of this stuff was in there.
The Crew 2.
On, you got
I wouldn't mind hopping on the Crew 2.
You got Republic in there also, bro. That's worth $2 billion.
What's worth $2 billion?
Them, because guess what?
Who's them?
Ubisoft, nigga. Ubisoft is worth $2 billion.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. You know what? I gotta agree with Melo. If Activision worth 70, Ubisoft worth 2.
South Parks. Come on, bro. You think the Stick of Truth get all that bread, bro?
Man, Juju says Splinter Cell, Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, and Far Cry. I would say this though. I do disagree with Noah that Microsoft will have to keep these titles multi-plat because I don't think none of these titles are essential inputs. None of them are essential.
Keep them multi-plat,
but I think you would keep them there. But if Microsoft choose to bring them exclusive, if this hypothetically speaking that they purchased them, I think I just say the Activision deal don't go through. I'm gonna knock on wood because just say it doesn't go through, right? And Microsoft says, "Look, okay, we can't get there. We're gonna acquire Ubisoft." I think it goes through with no problem, no pushback from not even from Sony or anyone. And I think they can do with Ubisoft. They will have the ability to do with Ubisoft that they did with Bethesda in terms of making that content exclusive, because I don't think they have an IP that is essential. I don't even think Call of Duty is essential, though the regulators, well, at least in this case, the CMA is trying to make it an essential. I don't think Call of Duty is an essential input, but that's neither that. We'll get to that. We're about to get to that in a minute. We're gonna finish this up.
I say one last thing, Poe.
Go ahead.
in this deal, I want my concession. We're gonna use the Activision word for this month. For my concession, I'm demanding. You hear me? Demanding Ubisoft that I get remakes of Splinter Cell and a brand new Splinter Cell.
I don't know why they fumbling the bag on Splinter Cell.
It's a game right now. I've been following it. It's like it reminds me of Splinter Cell. It's called Project.
Let me use the bathroom real quick.
I'm gonna do a live reaction on it, but it reminds me of Splinter Cell. The game look fire. I'm gonna do a live.
What's the name of it?
Project TH. I can't put it on the screen right now, but it's called Project TH. Check it out. It reminds me of Splinter Cell, not the whole entire game, but it reminds me of it. But I'm with what's your name. If Bungie can go for $3 billion and what they got and stay multi-plat, this company can do it easily. Easily. I forgot all about the crew.
Yeah, the crew fire.
Man,
you too, bro. Forgot about that game.
World. I mean, the whole US.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. And that what was that? It was a biking game. I think it was called Republic. Something Republic. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yep, the Rayman and I forgot the Rabbit game. My kids be watching that one. For Honor. Yeah, man, they got some games in here, bro. Splinter Cell is Xbox Metal Gear. Absolutely, facts. Yeah, I remember we used to compete about that. Which one was better, Metal Gear or Splinter Cell?
Especially Splinter Cell.
Come on now, absolutely, absolutely. What about the engine and the technology? Exactly. You see what I'm talking about, Ruhan. Riders Republic. That's what the game was. That game is fire.
Oh, Rouse. I got that game too.
You get the technology and the talent behind it. They got some good working people over there. It ain't no game as a service. Come on, Post, you bugging. That's too big.
Let me say this, brother. Let me tell you something. I'm just saying, look, maybe I'm wrong. I can be wrong, brother. You ain't got to agree with me on. I'm just saying I don't see it. That's all I'm saying. I don't see it. But I will say this. Others ain't say yes, more than $2 billion. Ubisoft has games that produce reoccurring profits. The problem I see with Ubisoft is they started making the same games every 2 years. Give it a break. They ran Far Cry into the ground. I think they're doing that too with Assassin's Creed as well.
Yeah.
Mac City say Far Cry is huge. Splinter Cell, Assassins, Division. Everybody pretty much putting in the same games in their division. Splinter Cell, things like that. Watch Dogs and stuff like that. I think I don't know. Has they ran the Tom Clancy series as a whole in the ground?
Hell no.
You wouldn't say that?
The
Recon, the Breakpoint, the Wildlands,
they did, bro.
Rainbow.
It kind of seems like they didn't know where to go. Then they was going to do a battle royale with it. Then they canceled that.
They got a Ghost Recon. They got another Ghost Recon coming out. It's supposed to go back to like what Wildland was, but Breaking Point just had too many bugs. And when it released, it was lucky as hell.
It's supposed to be like a battle royale, but they canceled it.
Yeah, they canceled
battle royale. Supposed coming out with an open world like Wildlands.
But I just talked to my cousin. What was that? Yesterday, day before. He still played Breaking Point. Like he still played. Like he preferred that over Call of Duty because he says more realistic in terms of the shooting and stuff like that. So,
they improved the game over the years.
You got people that still rock with it. I do agree with you on this one though, Mello. They do need to bring back. I don't know how they will do it because I don't even think you could do a battle royale, but spy versus mercs.
Oh yeah,
mercenaries.
Hell yeah, that shit used to be, bro. I was a fucking master at that shit.
It's crazy right now. Then with the enemy AI, how they are now,
the things they can do with that on the scale they'll be. That was one of the dopest It was so different. It
Spy
was
versus.
so
I didn't know you used to play that post.
yeah, definitely. When you start off the map, you gotta hop the fence. Then you either could go through the building, either through the roof, or what's the name? If you a spy,
Yeah,
you hop on what's the name and go through the roof.
Hey
You know what I'm
yo,
saying?
I was a
And
general. I
you
was a
see the
general
mercs come in the
on
little
double
room and
agent.
stuff. Yeah, bro. Look, I used to play that a lot, bro, because it was fire.
It was. Hey, but until they started exploiting the game though. The mercs, they would like stand on couches and tables.
Yeah.
You couldn't kill them.
Yeah, but I mean the mechanics behind it, the objective based on games
It was
play it had, it was fire and it was different. It was something different at the time. It wasn't just a normal, I'm gonna shoot you, whoever wins. When you get this many kills, you win. Like the spies had their own specific tool set, and the mercs had
you had
their
to
own
hack. Yeah,
specific tool, and you had that.
you had to hack this shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bro,
that
hey, bro, I was A1 in that shit, bro.
man, that joint was,
Oh,
and I don't know why. Look, man,
I'm tired of giving these niggas bars, man.
Iron Mike with the $2. AC Valhalla made 1 billion by its damn self. My bad, Mike.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Talk to that nigga, Mike.
My bad.
The sad part too, because they missing a good point.
I'm wrong. I'm not. Look,
Yeah, I'm wrong.
I ain't afraid to say it.
Looking at the climate of how the world is right now,
I'll take an L on that one. That's popcorn.
If,
You can probably,
if you paid attention how Splinter Cell ended,
I'll take an L on that one.
If they bring in a Splinter Cell with his daughter as the new Splinter Cell, come on, bro.
People is definitely thirsty for a new Splinter Cell.
Man,
and I don't know what they doing with it. Spy versus spy. But I just like the spy versus mercenary because the spies had their own equipment and tools, and I think they started you off with the silencer. When you was a spy, you had a silencer.
I think if I remember correctly, you could choose like your loadout.
Yeah, you could choose the loadout. Yeah, different perks and loadouts. Yep.
You had the little drone you could send out.
Yep, the drone, the camera.
The vents and then self-destruct.
Yep.
Yeah, it was tough. Hey, I was trash as a merc, but as a spy, nigga.
Yeah, I think they need to bring that back. And it was objective based. It wasn't just you was going in there killing stuff.
No, as a merc, you was to kill though.
Kill, yeah, because you had to stop the spy from going in and and hacking. But what you can do now in the different objectives, like if you look at Rainbow Six, Siege and stuff like that, and how the objectives in that, the multiplayer aspect of it, the things you can do with Spy versus Merc right now will be incredible, and you could do it on an even a bigger and wider scale than the old game. They never went back to that, and it's crazy. No developer never picked up on that or tried to expand on it. That's crazy. That's crazy. But if you played it back in the day, that was a fire. It was new. It was something different, bro.
That shit was huge. Hey, is it me? Do y'all kind of like miss the old days of gaming where you bought a game and you knew it came with a multiplayer component, like hit or miss?
Hey man, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Here we go.
Like it seemed like your 360 era. Right? Every game had like a multiplayer component.
You gotta start every show, don't you? You gotta start something.
Yeah,
every show, don't you?
You know it.
Go ahead, Stone. Go talk your shit. Talk your shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I blame Sony, bro. I blame Sony. This is my blame Sony segment.
This is no blame Sony segment. Go ahead.
Ever since God of War Ascensions came out and they multiplayer flopped, all these developers stopped adding their multiplayer components to their game and just doing single player. I blame Sony.
So you saying Sony led the way into the death of multiplayer games?
I would say they led the death of adding a multiplayer component to big titles, big AAA titles. We don't get that no more, bro. Far Cry used to have a multiplayer PvP. Remember the old Far Cry games? They had PvP games. Tomb Raider used to have a PvP.
I'm not going to that rabbit hole.
No, but for real though, your $60 felt justified back in the day. Like either hit or miss. Because once you were done with the story, you go try the multiplayer component. You'll see what that PvP hitting on.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I just want to say this.
You got no lie here.
I just want to say this. Every show, Noah's going to find some way to take a dig at Sony and PlayStation. This segment was brought to you by Microsoft is a core at Activision, and Jim Crying Ryan is out there touring the world crying and telling lies. So we finna move on before we end the show. We finna move on into this Activision and Microsoft debacle, okay? As you all know, Microsoft is trying to acquire acquisition, and we pretty much got the, I would say, the final piece of the puzzle in terms of the European Commission finally submitting their state of objections to Microsoft, which are confidential. We probably never going to see that until after everything is kind of finalized. But the CMA did release their provisional findings, and that's what everybody is talking about. So let me look, and as I stated before earlier in the show, I'm not going to do a deep dive on this. I'm going to do that separately because it's so much to go over. Okay, and there's a lot of new reports out there and things going on. I just want to give this week I'm gonna do a deep dive on what I've read and my perspective on what they put out, okay, in these provisional findings. But I will say this. My opinion didn't change from phase one. Phase one, they're a lot more aggressive. My perspective is this deal should have been passed in phase one. This deal shouldn't even went this far. But since of the political climate we're in, the UK now off on its own separate from Europe, and they're doing their own thing. Biden pressing for regulators to press big tech, as he reiterated at his State of the Union address. And so all of this, if we wasn't in the political climate that we're in right now, this Activision deal would have been closed. It would have been closed. And that's tough. I so many people agree that Microsoft probably picked the wrong time to try to acquire Activision Blizzard.
But it was now or never though. Like
I do think it was the perfect time in the sense of the European Commission DMA coming into play. Digital market. What is it called? Digital market. I forgot the abbreviation, but Europe is forcing Apple to open up their OS and allow third parties, allow third-party stores on their devices.
They're going to open up a can of worms on that one.
That side loading, all that stuff, being able to, their own marketplace and stuff like that.
Charge people 30%.
Yeah. And I think United States gonna follow suit because they already got stuff in Congress that hasn't been passed yet, but I think the United States going to follow suit. I think, and that's not just Apple, that's Google too as well. But Google, it's a lot of stuff going on the political aspect of the regulators. But I will say this: it is a perfect time for that because Microsoft is trying to. One of their main reasons for acquiring Activision is to disrupt the duopoly that Google and Apple have on the app stores on the phones, because it's either the Google store or the Apple store. But let me bring this up, and I'll just touch on a little of this, and then I'll come back this week. And give y'all a deep dive on my perspective, and then we'll also look at other stuff that's been in the news regarding this as well. Let me see here. Where do I want to start? But from my perspective, I do believe that the deal still goes through, right? And I do believe that it's not going to come down to divestitures. I do believe that Microsoft can get this deal approved without having to sell off any of Activision.
Absolutely.
All right. Because the CMA, their position on this is very one-sided, right? All you hear about throughout this provisional finding and through phase 1 is Sony, PlayStation. It will harm Sony. It will harm. Well, who gives them? Right? This is the gaming market. This is one of the most dynamic markets in the world, right? It's one of the most fragmented markets in the world, right? And it's also one of the most competitive markets in the world. You're literally trying to stop what has built the industry into what it is now. If you go back and you look at Sega, Nintendo, their wars, Atari, and all of their wars, in comes Sony. Now you got a war between Sega, Sony, and Nintendo. Nintendo had its exclusive content, paid for exclusive content for its system. Sega did the same thing. Sony did the same thing. And they was doing this to compete for your dollar. So the CMA is saying things that's been working for years, for generation in this industry, now will all of a sudden hurt Sony. One game. They're saying one game is big enough to hurt one company. Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
A game that ain't really highly rated. A game that you can't even put in the same stratosphere as a GTA or a Minecraft. Even though it sells well, it ain't near. GTA is an essential input. Minecraft has the ability to be an essential input. It has over 200 million active users in what's that, China alone? If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken with the numbers. But they have like over 240 or 45 million active users. GTA is an essential input. Now I can understand that if Microsoft was trying to buy Take-Two, and the CMA say no, this will hurt. Yes, taking GTA exclusive to Xbox would hurt Sony because it is an essential input, and I don't care about Call of Duty or nothing. You get GTA exclusive to your platform, that's going to shift the market. And it'll shift the market way more than fucking Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, ain't nobody complaining now. Yeah.
Call of Duty is not essential to PlayStation. Right?
Technically it is.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
Hey, they already came out. They first parties ain't selling shit. It ain't selling what they expected to sell, brother. And when it comes to Call of Duty, it's number one all the time on their list. So it's essential, but do we supposed to care? No.
It's not essential.
No, it's not essential. Essential meaning would PlayStation go under?
Will
they will.
PlayStation go under if they lost Call of Duty?
Will go under. Yes.
You gotta be crazy.
They'll go out of business.
Yeah. Hold on. We can prove this.
No, we don't need you in the courtroom.
Hold on. No, hold on. Wait. You need to explain yourself, brother. Explain yourself, brother.
Okay. If we were just talking about the $60 games and multiplat, right? We already know for a fact Sony has closed down majority of their multiplayer games. They do not have a lot of multiplayer games, especially in the shooting realm. When it comes to this deal, we already know. You got to look at the past. Microsoft had the marketing shares and pretty much made Call of Duty what it is at this point. Made it a household name. They switched over to Sony with the market shares and the marketing. People shifted over there with Sony for this game because it was multiplayer, which they don't have. If you talk to the fanboys of the PlayStation ponies, they say out their own mouth, we like this. We want Sony to give us the story-driven games, and we allow third party to cover our multiplayer needs, which is what Call of Duty is at this point.
Okay,
so it's kind of essential.
I disagree with that, brother, and I'm with Noah on this. Noah, go ahead because I know you wanted to say something.
Yeah, we like to ask the judge to have to escort Double O'Melo out of the courtroom. He's not in sound mind right now.
That brother sound like a please, Your Honor.
They need it.
I'm sorry. That brother up there singing right now.
On defense.
You feel me? Look, and see, that's why I got to do a deep dive this week, solely dedicated to this topic, because it's so much to go under, and it's so many weak arguments to see them make, and it's look like a lot of this is right out of Sony handbook. A lot of this stuff reads verbatim of how Sony feel about, especially when you get into the cloud. Let me tell you something. We're gonna.
Hold on. Let me say this.
Go ahead.
PlayStation as a company, as a gaming company, pre-exists Call of Duty. And even then, it was the most number one successful platform out of all the gaming companies. So how is Call of Duty essential to PlayStation?
They don't have multiplayer or shooting game that's on the level.
They do. They have third party developers that make shooting games. Rainbow Six Siege.
Okay, so we got a company, Sony, that has a music division, and they probably own about 30 or 40% of that market. You know, they got Michael Jackson catalog. They got Beyonce as an artist. They got a lot of people as artists over there on Sony, right? They got the movie division, right? They doing the movies and all that stuff. You know, they big in movies and all that stuff. Then they got they do the chips, damn near every camera and things like that. They do the sensors for iPhones and Googles and cameras and TVs and all that stuff, right? They got that section, and then they got the TV section. You know what I'm saying? When you read the document, y'all got to read what this document is saying. The document saying that this deal will harm Sony, not PlayStation. Read what they're saying in the document. They're saying that Microsoft could harm Sony. Sony consists of PlayStation, a music division, a TV division, camera division where they make the sensors, the movie. It consists of all of those divisions. When you say Sony, you're talking about the company as a whole, and they're telling you that one game, Call of Duty, can affect Sony PlayStation, Sony movies, Sony music, Sony TV, and Sony sensors. What are we doing here?
Hey, stop shaking the table. First,
what are we doing here?
Hold on. This is the reason why, though. Hold on. I'm playing devil's advocate. The reason why is this. When you look at your financial reports, and out of everything that you mentioned, and we have an inkling of a dip in sales, we can blame it and say that is affecting our sales at Sony.
No. We're not finna do this. We're not finna do this. I'm telling you, in this provisional findings, they're saying one IP, Call of Duty, that's not even in the top 10 most selling games of all times. I don't even think it's in the top 10. If I'm not, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, right?
I'll put other zinc on the screen. COD is 17% of Sony PlayStation's income. I don't know if I discreditable income.
No, COD is 17% of Sony PlayStation discretionary income. Also, COD is Sony only means of recurrent profit. That is not true.
How is it not?
That is, watch your wordings. Y'all are saying Sony. When you say Sony, you're saying the company as a whole. You can't say that's their only recurring income when in the music division, they have a mobile game that is $1 billion franchise. What are we doing here?
What we're doing here is...
What are we doing here?
When we report... Hold on. So when we come to the table, we say...
It's in streaming services. That music, that's recurring revenue right there.
But I'm saying...
You can't say that's the...
Hold on, but when we looking at it, we say, okay, the music expectation...
I'm just saying, they're saying Sony.
No, I'm just saying Sony. So
if they would have said PlayStation, I would have looked at this different. But they're saying Call of Duty can harm Sony. And when I see that, Sony as a whole. Yeah, everything that encompasses Sony
as a whole. So I'm just saying, if we going with that analogy, we say, okay, our expectations for every division of Sony, of the brand Sony, is this. Movies gonna bring in this yearly. Music gonna bring in this yearly. The camera's gonna bring in this yearly. And when we look at the video game, we said it's gonna bring in this yearly, and it does not bring that in for that yearly. That is a problem.
Hold on. Hold on, man.
Okay.
Iron Mike says PlayStation damn near is the company as y'all gotta stop that. Y'all gotta stop that.
These niggas in the courtroom snitching on their damn self right now.
Let me tell you something.
Hold on. I'm gonna flip.
Y'all been doing this for years.
I'm gonna flip it at the end. This is
y'all been saying this for years, and we finna put a stop to that right now. You guys, and I'm just talking about Iron Mike. I'm talking about Ponies too. Have been saying for years that PlayStation is keeping Sony alive.
Mm-hmm.
Right? PlayStation is keeping. I remember Kratos on Z Show used to say this. PlayStation is keeping Sony alive. PlayStation is keeping the lights on at Sony. So tell me how in the hell that one division, right? That one division is the financial backing of your TV division, of your imaging division when it comes to chips from the camera, of your movies division when it comes to big block making these movies and shit. How is PlayStation funding the music division? Y'all gotta. PlayStation is not doing all that.
Okay, let me tell you how. Folks.
PlayStation is not funding all, especially not the nigga. They would have been broke. You know how much the move.
Hold on. Let me ask you this, folks. Let me ask you this, because again,
I disagree with that, Iron Mike. You better go check. You better go give me some factual numbers on that.
If a week is one division, a week, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying right there, Post. So I'm saying Even with the TVs, we know our expectation with TVs because we got these contracts with this. This is what's gonna be out. This is what we're gonna bring in revenue wise.
He gonna say, "I will not provide numbers."
Yeah, exactly.
You can say what
number? Right.
Yo.
But when it comes to video, we know Call of Duty and its microtransaction. It's recurring.
Okay.
Okay. Situation.
Question.
DLC package in and all that.
Okay. Question.
Remove that. That's a chunk of income we expected that's not going to be there, or possibly. I'm saying possibly not going to be there to its normal standards. That impacts everything. I don't think if they not dividing up everything, like okay,
look,
make TVs and that's their profit, and music make music, and if it's Sony as a whole, it's impactful, bro.
Ain't nobody dominating in cloud right now, the Ruham. Because the cloud ain't even dominating. No, he said post up who dominating the cloud right now. Ain't nobody dominating in cloud right now. Cloud ain't even a market yet. Cloud ain't even a market. Stadia got up out of there, slid up out of there because they didn't want to foot the bill that it would take on a first party standpoint to compete with Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, right? We know they're gonna fall back to kind of, selling, licensing their IP. You got GeForce NVIDIA over there. They have a cloud infrastructure, but you have to buy the game to use on their cloud service. Then you got Sony PlayStation with PS Now. I don't know what that's doing. I can't even remember the last numbers on that. You have Microsoft with xCloud that ain't even out yet. It's still in beta. xCloud been in beta since they announced it. It's not even a live service yet. And when it becomes live, I don't even think it's going to be xCloud. So that market really doesn't exist yet. And guess what, the Ruham? The CMA is trying to use a market that doesn't exist or predetermine what the market will be, and then Microsoft will have a massive advantage over a market that doesn't even exist yet. How you gonna try to block a deal based on what you think we might be able to do versus having evidence of what we will do or what we might do?
Like what they're finding is they're talking about the Azure data center as a whole, because that does more than just gaming.
But see, Azure don't do gaming on Xbox, and Microsoft explained that to them in phase 1. And then they want to come back and run the same shit, talking about, well, Microsoft can use Call of Duty content to with the operating system. What? First of all, xCloud doesn't run on Azure servers. They use Azure facility, but they run on a bespoke network, right? They run on Xbox Series X's in a rack, right?
Yeah, in a controlled environment, right?
Right, in a controlled environment, right? Right. Secondly, you don't need an operating system to play cloud games in the cloud. That's the shit I'm talking about, bro. That's in this provisional finding. You don't need an operating system to play a specific operating system. xCloud is not exclusive to Windows. You can pick up a tablet, whether it's Android or Apple, whether it's a Steam Deck or anything like that.
TV, right?
TV, whatever, and access xCloud on it. The cloud argument doesn't make any sense. And like I was saying earlier, you didn't force Amazon, when Amazon purchased MGM, you didn't force them to put that content on the competitor's platform. You didn't force Disney to keep Fox content on Netflix. Is Netflix still alive and thriving? Yes. Did Netflix go down once Disney removed all of their content off Netflix? Did Netflix go down when they removed all the Fox content off there? Did Disney or Netflix, were they impacted when Amazon brought the 007 license and IP and got it exclusive to their service? Aren't Netflix and Disney and Paramount Plus, aren't they still thriving? Didn't each of those platforms create their own big shows? Paramount Plus with Yellowstone, 1883, 1923, Star Trek, Picard. Disney with all of their IP and content. Netflix with the shows it keeps creating, who just did a deal with Sony and got Uncharted on Netflix. Aren't those 3 separate services or 4 separate services still thriving despite buying up big, huge companies with huge movie IPs?
Okay. All right.
They still, even though they $1 trillion in debt, they still building studios and all that shit. I don't know about $1 trillion in debt, bro. You got to give me a link on that $1 trillion.
Who $1 trillion in debt?
He said Netflix is $1 trillion in debt. Let me. Yeah, he said Netflix is $1 trillion.
I need a link on that.
I need a link on that, brother.
Who said that?
Yeah, I need a link on that. That was that brother Other Zink and Ray now. Apollo Cooper with the $2. They don't even know that Sony and WB has a deal. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, yo. This is all I'm saying, yo. There's no way this deal should have went to phase 2 at all.
Well, they say they had $14 billion in debt since 2022.
There's no way that they should have went. This should have went past phase 1 at all. There's no way. Right?
But people don't understand. Like debt is not a bad thing.
You can have good debt and you can have bad debt.
Yeah, all companies operate in debt. Just about.
Microsoft, a $2 trillion company, they got debt too. They, you know what I'm saying? Sony got debt too. There's good debt and there's bad debt. Shout out to Top Shotter. That's how right here, Top Shotter. You know, I want to sound like a, you know, get the Jamaican voice. But I don't know if I'm doing it right though. You know, let me stop with the $5 though. Sony told CMA their whole business would be in trouble because of it. Thank you, Top Shotter. I don't think they're understanding what we're saying here, right? They're saying that their whole business will be in trouble because of this deal. Do y'all actually believe one IP Call of Duty, bro? That when last year people were saying was trash and lost his thunder. Before Modern Warfare 2 even came out, what was the Call of Duty before Warfare 2?
What was that? Shit.
Warfare.
No, it was. Start with a V.
Last year.
Vanguard.
Vanguard or something like that.
Trash Guard. Yeah.
You know how many? They lost over 40 million players because of Vanguard.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
40 million players. Everybody said it was trash. It wasn't the same.
Now I get tired of that going back to World War I reenactment and World War II. Like.
And now all of a sudden, y'all got to make up y'all mind. Is the game trash? Is the game is a figment of itself, or is this the one IP that can take Sony under? I'm talking about the whole Sony. Sony business affects music and movie industry in the UK. Shout out to Top Shotter for that. Let me show you how much, because see, a lot of stuff that that they put in this provisional finding is actually working against their argument, because a lot of it doesn't make sense and the numbers do not add up. But all they know is it's going to affect Sony. So let's read this. Let's read this. And shout out to Adiz on Reset Era. He said, I just read the PlayStation Gamer research, and I think that it's very interesting how the results are quite similar to the survey from FNE Chile. That's Chile's findings after they approved the deal with no concessions. The last 4 pages of their findings, but the decisions differ, right? The CMA believes that it must be assigned qualified evidential weight. And it says in the summary of the provisional findings that number 46, the level of switching in this analysis, 24%, right? So when you think of that 24%, before I move on, when you think of that 24%, we're talking about not 24% of PlayStation players. And I stated this before this even came out. Before this even got out, if y'all remember that video I did, I was one of the first people before all this came out that told y'all that the survey was based on hardcore Call of Duty players.
Right.
And that it had nothing to do with just PlayStation gamer, that it was targeted specifically to people who play Call of Duty on a hardcore level, meaning 10 hours or more. I don't know if that's per day or per week, but it was probably per day. I was the first one that told y'all that. Right? So now it's coming out in the provisional finding that it was targeted to a specific player base, right? So, which indicates that a significant proportion of all PlayStation COD gamers will switch away from the platform. Suggests that PlayStation COD gamers would be affected by not having access to COD, notwithstanding the availability of other games on PlayStation. Meanwhile, the survey from Chile showed that only 22% would opt to switch to another device. Now, let me stop there. Chile did the same, followed the same methodology as the CMA, right? They targeted the same user base as the CMA, meaning the survey that they did in their own country was targeted towards hardcore PlayStation Call of Duty games. Okay? I don't know if I'm saying Chile or Chow. I'm going to say Chile. I'm going to still say Chile. I'm Chile, The FNE also believes that the survey must be assigned qualified evidential weight, but 22% is evidence enough that only a small percentage of PlayStation Call of Duty player users would switch to Xbox or PC. 24% versus 22%. In one case, it's evidence of a significant number of switchers. In the other case, to the contrary. So in Chile's case, they said 22%. That's not enough. That's not a lot. And it shows it's not enough to of people that want to switch to impact you as a business. The CMA had 2% higher and came to the conclusion that there was enough players to impact Sony business. Please make this make sense, y'all. Please make this make sense. Hold on, I'm gonna keep going. The thing is that the surveys use the same methodology because the Chile said that the guidelines of the Competition and Markets Authority of the United Kingdom were followed as established in its guide of May 2018 on good practice in the design and presentation of customers survey evidence in merger cases, right? So they obviously use the same guidelines, right? So these are the numbers, right? And I'm going to show you how much. These numbers going to show you how much PlayStation Call of Duty players even care, right? So the CMA said it sent out 40,000 invitations to hardcore PlayStation card players. And only out of that 40,000, only 1,397 responded. Make it make sense. In Chile, they sent out 10,014 invitations. Only 667 hardcore PlayStation Call of Duty players responded. They don't even care. And guess what? This was incentivized too, meaning that some of these surveys that they was given, they was $5 in their currency. From $5 all the way up to, I think, $10 or $11 in their currency to incentivize them to take the survey. Look how many people responded. Look how many people responded. 40,000 invitations. Interviews completed, 1,397. Eligibility rate, 81%. For Chile, 65%. Response rate, 4.4%. And in Chile was 10.2%. Or I think that's 10.2%. If COD is not available in the future, PlayStation players that would not have played any video games, 21%. In Chile, 18%. If COD is not available in the future, PlayStation players that will play a different game, including old CODs, 34%. 64% if COD not available is the most recent one, right? How we sent you is the availability of COD, 73% to 62%, right? All I'm saying is the CMA took that and used this as evidence that it was essential. They took that and used this. 24%. They used 24% of hardcore card players switching to Xbox as proof that acquiring Activision will do harm to PlayStation. That's not even 24% of the entire fan base of PlayStation gamers in the UK. So the number is even smaller compared to the entire community. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Where they do this at, right? It's a finally Xbox is number 2 in Chile. PlayStation is number 3. And Nintendo is number 1. In 2021, according to the CMA data, Xbox was number 3 in UK, right? Behind Sony and Nintendo. Nintendo and Sony had very similar market share by annual sale values. What I mean is that if the percentage of switchers is similar, the effect could potentially be worse in Chile than in UK, seeing that Xbox has a better position in the market. Microsoft had multiple issues with the survey. Okay, and you can. He said, for example, Microsoft thought that the questions about the hypothetical scenario, which this provisional finding does a lot of hypotheticals, right? COD not available in the future on PlayStation, the most recent COD not available on PlayStation, and COD available in the future but with less content, were one-dimensional, and should also ask for other player franchises to contextualize replies regarding COD. So they did. So this survey was secluded to just COD. It didn't include other games like GTA, Apex, Battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Other big games, Fortnite, which should have been in there.
Exactly.
Which should have been in there to say, look, if you don't have, but you still have access to these games, what is the likelihood? See, and that's why y'all got to understand what they're doing. What they're doing here to fit their agenda. That's why I say they still siding with Sony. They are still, even in this provisional finding, I don't care what nobody says. I know they changed some of their stands on a few things, but a lot of this stuff looks like, it sounds like it came straight out of the book of Sony. In any case, there is no doubt that COD is more relevant in UK than in Chile. But at the same time, the number of switchers is so similar, 24% versus 22%, that I wonder if that's enough for the different interpretation of the results. How did you get a different result? I know it's a lot of more gamers in UK than there is in Chile because the population size is different. But how did you not come to the same conclusion as Chile did? First of all, you threw out a sample size of 40,000 invitations and only 1,397, even after you use money to incentivize them to take the surveys. Only 1,397 hardcore PlayStation COD players even responded to the emails. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? It really don't make no sense. Shout out to Master Sim 40 with the $2. Thanks for having more shows. Ponies are peak haters. Absolutely. It really don't make no sense. My bad. Let me see here.
I'm watching.
I'll just make sure I'm getting all of the super chats. But go ahead, because I got it. Let me.
He was just saying what game I was saying. I was Watch Dog. Okay. Legends. I'm not playing it.
Okay, so let me do this here. I'm
listening to post up in this wild allegation against Sony.
Right. So so I'm just gonna go through some of what some people have been saying regarding the deal. Okay. And this is very important right here. Let me read this. And this is from MLEX. MLEX is a new newsletter, but it's a very prestige newsletter when it comes to mergers and acquisitions. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it's a pay for MLEX. Usually a lot of lawyers and things like that, acquisition lawyers, they are signed up or pay for MLEX. Okay. And I want to read this, and this says a lot. It says MLEX has a new report, a bit speculative, about how the CMA and the EC don't see eye to eye on the use of ABK's games to harm competition between operating systems. It's no argument there. It shouldn't be an argument there, right? Because my Game Pass in xCloud works across multiple different operating systems. Even the Steam Deck, where they use what is it? Not I'm about to say Patreon, Proton that allows Microsoft apps to run in a Linux environment. So, but let's keep going, right?
Linux.
They say that Google was likely the one pushing for that argument, but that the CMA does not think it is credible, right? That's a good thing. According to the provisional findings, however, back in November 22, the European Commission thought that Microsoft could reduce the ability of rival providers of PC operating systems to compete with Windows by combining APK games, Activision games, and Microsoft distribution of games via cloud. Once again, This the same thing they brought up in the phase 1. MLEX said the statement of objections is still confidential, therefore no one knows beyond Microsoft and Activision whether CMA and European Commission concur or part ways yet. That's why they wonder if the European Commission is still concerned about the Windows issue. If that's the case, they believe that Microsoft will be quick to point them to the CMA conclusion. All right. So I will say this. They changed their stance on that. I do want to go here. Where is it? Is it this one? I don't think it's this one. I think it's the other one. Hold on. Let me see here. That's Sony with the, what's the name? I'm going to do this here. That's that. That's me calling out guys. Let me do this here. That chat GPT thing was incredible. Is it this one? Yeah, that was funny too. Hold on. This was funny too. And if Sony, okay, let me do it. And then we're gonna get this out of here. And then, like I said, this week I'm gonna do a deep dive where I'm gonna be a lot more thorough. I'm not gonna be all over the place or anything like that. This week I'm gonna do a show. We're gonna deep dive. We're gonna go through a lot of stuff. And I'm just trying to see if I can get them questions answered first before I can give y'all a dope deep dive into all this. But if Sony is out here saying this, then this is hilarious, right? MS can be encouraged that the CMA didn't close the door to behavior remedies, even if divesting is the preferred option. Okay, I think if I'm not mistaken, in the last 61 cases that the CMA has had, only one case were passed with behavioral remedies. Only one case out of 61 cases. Out of 61 cases, only one case passed with behavioral remedies, right? And out of that, only one case was offered behavioral remedies out of 61 cases, if I remember correctly, right? This is the second time that out of those 61 cases that the CMA has offered behavior remedies to a company. The first was another company. The second is this Microsoft Activision deal. So out of 61 cases, one company was able to pass with behavioral remedies, and Microsoft is the second company that they offered behavioral remedies to. All right? That they offer behavioral remedies to. What that says, we won't know until all this play out. The CMA did not slam the door closed. MLEX said that there are examples where the CMA has been more forthright in recent past deals, like the provisional decision to block Cerelia's purchase of Just Roll or the Meta's acquisition of Giphy, where the CMA literally said that behavioral remedies were very unlikely. And that's why people still say that they left the door open, because a lot of times when the CMA, they prefer structural remedies over behavior remedies. And structural remedies usually lead to divestitures, right? And so in this case, they didn't use the term very unlikely. So they left the door open for behavior remedies, meaning that a lot of the issues that they have could get solved with behavior remedies. Okay. They have until early March to offer remedies to the European Commission. Therefore, a common package to both is likely. Now, this is where we get to. Critics, and if Sony and Google is out here telling the CMA this is shameless. This is critics of behavior remedies say that Microsoft could make Call of Duty lag on rival consoles putting PlayStation gamers at a disadvantage when playing online against those using an Xbox? If so, how do you police that? The argument goes that gamers would no doubt get frustrated and switch to Xbox before enforcers could intervene. That is Sony. Look,
Absolutely.
you can't tell me that Sony ain't out there telling them.
Ain't sprinkle a little bit of water on the
Yo, you cannot tell me that Sony is not out there telling regulators, yo, you know, they could make our yo, what? The Ruham, that's the hey, I couldn't believe it. Hey, you can't, bruh.
That's your boys. That's your mans. That's your mans in them.
The Ruham, did you, bro? Let me read that again. Critics of behavior remedies say that Microsoft could make Call of Duty lag on rival consoles, putting PlayStation gamers at a disadvantage. That is Sony out there telling lies. Why would Microsoft do that? Why would they mess up their bag like that? Why would they hurt the brand like that? You mean to tell me you're spending $70 billion only to do something like that will hurt the brand after you just spent $70 billion that you finna use your competition to help recoup?
No, they're just gonna convert the Xbox and continue making their money.
This is crazy. Okay. Hold on. Critics also say that the complex process of games being optimized for different hardware or platform is quasi impossible to control and thus right for Microsoft to manipulate to give its own platform an edge. Ooh-wee. They out there telling the lies. They out there. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. Microsoft defenders point out that rolling out games is already highly contractual. If the existing setup works, why is that not replicable? Disputes can be dealt with swiftly by arbitrators. As a last resort, companies such as Sony have the resources and lawyers to hold Microsoft to its promises. Like this, look, bro, this is crazy. Sony Sony out there telling them people lies, brother. They out, look. I'm gonna stop there, man. I'm gonna stop there because, like I said, I wanted to do a deep dive, man. And it's a lot to talk about. I done tweeted about this and I wanted this guy Mueller. He runs the false patent website. He got some articles and stuff about this that I want to dig into as well. But we're about 2.5, 3 hours, maybe 3 hours in right now, man. Yeah, we're 3 hours in, man. So I'm gonna stop right here. The update, in terms of the latest update, I can't give y'all the latest update. That's about it, and then we'll get going, man. We'll get going, y'all. Ooh, look at that! Oh, look at that! Let me show y'all. Y'all can't tell me that ain't fire. Y'all can't tell me, man. Y'all better get ready.
The profile pic.
Y'all better get ready.
Let's go. That boy is kind of fire, bro. He goes.
Y'all better get. That's the new logo, y'all. That's the new logo, y'all. Shout out to Mello.
SOG.
Yeah, that's why. Hey, who is that? Let me see here. Safo. That's why Microsoft has requested those documentations. Those documentation goes all the way back, I think, to 2012 that they requested. So 2012 up into now. And we know what happened in the Xbox PS4 era. And that's probably why Sony don't want to give up those documentations. Because Microsoft can prove that Sony probably most likely tried to force them out of the market in that generation, which a lot of people believe.
It's a fact.
Yeah, ain't no problem. Yeah, we know that's a fact.
Yeah. You just gonna confirm it with paperwork.
Hey, Mello, did we give him a name? Is he Space Guy? Is that Space Guy? Did we give him a name? We ain't named him officially yet.
Yeah, that's what I've been calling him.
Spaceman?
Yeah.
Space. Oh yeah. I don't know. Yeah. We'll figure out a name. Yeah. Okay, hold on, Ruham. Here I come. Let me do this last update. I get to y'all stuff. Let me see here. That's it. Well, you know what? No, I'll just go get to y'all. Let me stop this sharing, and let me see some of what y'all saying in the chat. Post up doesn't read. Pony comments. No, Chris, how you a pony, brother? Go to y'all at the ponies. Well, you don't never show up to no pony show. You ain't never in no PlayStation show coming. Back up.
Man, like he love Xbox.
Yeah, he like getting his legs beat in.
My only problem with that post is you don't know how many of those people play COD. Well, yes, I do. All of them do. All of them do. Because the CMA had access to data from Sony and Xbox that we don't have access to. Microsoft and Sony can tell the difference between casual card players and hardcore card players because they have the data. They have the data to support it. They have the users and the data to support it. And the CMA can easily get that data, access from that data from Sony based off the people, the players in the UK. I'm telling you that survey was targeted specifically. Those 40,000 emails was that was sent out was 40,000 hardcore Call of Duty players. My brother in Christ ain't want to watch clowns like Marlon. He blocked me on his channel 2 years ago as I make. Wait, Chris. How you get blocked by a pony?
2 years.
No, 2 years ago. Didn't know you had me a pony.
You must be talking out your body for him to do that.
Okay, let me see what doing. My only problem with that post is in that region, people not worldwide. Just realize the people who love Game Pass are mostly poor people. Wait. Just realize that people who love Game Pass are mostly poor people. Don't understand me wrong. I never despise people at post.
You definitely despise. You talking.
Let me tell you something. Poor? This is the most.
That man said poor people, bro. Oh my God. This is why you niggas stay in poverty.
Now I see why Dirt,
you go change
and Sean them have their Xbox warriors in the chat kicking you ponies out of the chat for stupid shit like this. This is one of the most asinine comments I have ever read in my life.
The only way you view somebody saving money as being poor.
I don't understand how saving money it correlates to being poor.
Make that make sense.
Please explain that to me. Because from my understanding, rich people are rich because they know how to manage their money and they don't spend recklessly and they don't spend just because they got it.
Absolutely.
Now, when you become rich, you might have things that you might wanted when you was poor. So you'll go out and get your favorite car, some jewelry and stuff like that. The problem is not becoming rich, it's maintaining that status quo.
Or surpassing.
Or even surpassing it. And from y'all perspective, and from your perspective, Chris, you'll never become rich, and if you're rich, you're gonna quickly become broke.
Quickly.
If you're asserting value with poor people, I know people who got that bag. I know people who got that bag, right?
And still use coupons.
Who will only shop in the store if they got a deal going on.
Man.
My sister is like that.
Y'all
and my sister is well off. I won't say she's rich, but she's well off. And let me tell you, right now she's redoing her house. Went over there the other day, and I'm talking about the appliances and stuff she got in it. She dropped a bag on. You know why she able to drop a bag on there? Because she still use coupons. She only shop at stores where they got deals and sales going on.
Absolutely.
And so when she needs to spend her money on things that matter, like redoing her house, the money is there.
They ain't gonna get it. They ain't gonna get it.
Hold on. We'll do this here.
Woo, brother. That man said it is poor to mess with Game Pass.
I know, saving money, bro. Saving money is what poor people do. Getting the best value, the best deal, the best buck, the best value for their buck is what poor people do.
And I say the only reason Sony, that's why I keep saying I keep allowing Sony to put their foot in their mouth because they're making it worse for themselves. As they like the number 1 and 2 marketers in gaming. And you gotta I take this analogy, you gotta view it as this. This is why I looked at it as it's like the NBA in the championship where you're going into the draft. The NBA don't give the number 1 draft pick to the person that's already winning. They give it in a lottery pool to the teams that's losing so they can get a chance to compete in the next season. Right. So if you're looking at this deal, Sony is winning. They number 1 in everywhere. Xbox is losing. They hemorrhaging money. Like they said, allow us to compete. Give us a chance to compete. So if you're going to sit here and cry wolf and say, hey, if they get this, they're going to surpass us, you're worried about competition. And that's not the game we play at this point. But, you can take it for what it is. Go ahead, folks.
Look, hold on. Let me. We're going to close the show because I was going, but I'm finna stump this dude out because that ain't the first time I seen that, right? That's not the first time that I've seen that. I've seen that all on Twitter, where PlayStation gamers are saying where PlayStation and gamers are saying that people who complain about $70 games are broke and or can't afford it, or the people who pay for Game Pass are broke and poor or can't afford it. Look, I'm gonna tell you, there's some people in the chat that I know with Game Pass. They got that bag. Easily. I ain't even finna call no names.
Talk to him, Pastor.
I ain't even finna call no names. But I know for sure some people in the chat with that bag that has Game Pass, and they ain't poor.
Bro, hold on, wait. He said if you can't afford $70 games, you are a poor man. Bro,
Game Pass is an option if you don't want $70 Game Pass.
I subscribe to Game Pass, and I got Harry Potter, and I probably got more games pre-ordered than you.
And I would say this. No, he still buys $70 games.
Right? Not happily, but
not happily, but he's still bound, right? But I look at it like this: if you're a multi-console user and you have Game Pass and you have PlayStation and you play on both systems, then you should have an appreciation for Game Pass. Because a lot of the third-party games that you would actually have to pay $70 for if you wanted to play them on PlayStation, like Wolong, drops day and day in Game Pass, Atomic Heart, day and day. Games like that, you can save that $70 forever for whatever other third-party game you may want or whatever Sony first-party game.
Can I say this?
Yeah, you just save money.
Can I say this? I have never seen a grown man with responsibilities champion spending more money on a product that they was getting cheaper.
Yeah, let me pay $150 for that limited edition. Like, I want to.
Take time to go in the store, man. Look,
these companies is actually coming out and they're saying that we're changing the narrative of just giving you 3 exclusives a year. They're talking about increasing this by 4 to 5 games on top of third-party games. And you're gonna sit here and tell me saving some form of money with like paying $160, $120 a year and getting access to a platform is for you are out your money.
Let me tell you something. Back in the day, right? Back in the day, on the low end, 47, even the hundreds or whatever, you couldn't do this downtown or going in the big stores. What you'll do is you'll hit the stores in the city, in the hood, the city sports. You feel me? Shit like that, right? The clothing stores in the hood, right? Right. So say you had 300 in your pocket, right? And you're trying to get you an outfit and a pair of shoes. You'll go into one of the hair spots and be like, man, yo, you'll look at a pair of shoes. How much I want for these? They'll give you a price. How much you want for this shirt and these pants? They'll give you a price. And then you'll be like, oh, man, damn. Then I have to come back. Then you know what they do? They'll be like, how much you got? Like, I got 150. Hold on, let me talk to the store owner. Go up to the counter. What can we do with 150? Back in the hood, you was able to walk out with a fit and a pair of shoes for that 150 and still had another 150 to go do something else with. What kind of cloth y'all cut from?
You know what, though, Poe?
Am I lying, Mello?
Oh, no.
Tell us we wasn't in a store like that back in the day.
You definitely ain't lying. Don't get a clucker that'll go in there and steal it. You can get it even more less than that. But I digress. What I'm seeing here is I think people done lost their way, bro. When it comes to this, this is the reason why they come with those weak narrative excuses of downplaying certain video games, in my opinion, because it gives them an excuse for not paying for it. They'll look at something so minor, so minute, and say, "Oh, I'm not gonna pay for it because they ain't got the money in their pocket." This is stuff that Chris is doing right now.
Bro. I'm just saying, bro.
Real broken class right
facts. Like whenever you go shopping, you trying to get a deal.
Exactly.
Whenever. Even to this day, when I go into a store, even the hood stores, I'm not trying to spend what they asking for.
Right.
People already doing majority of shopping. Look, if I say, look, all right, I'm gonna come back. I'm finna go down here and see what they talking about, and then they ain't finna let you walk out of that door. How much you got on you? Let's see what we can work with.
Your bum narrative even works even terrible. So when Target does the holiday sales, you buy 2 games and get 1 free. You're poor for doing that, for not paying the extra $60 for the free game. Like, that's how dumb your narrative is. Y'all go out and get deals and coupons off of CD keys for video games.
Christopher Hart, I don't spend $150. Bro, I play yearly. I play for Game Pass yearly, brother.
These same dudes will brag about a sale on PS now. So like,
your first show should be how you are brokey for investing in Game Pass. That's what it should be, your first show, and explain that.
Shout out to Bay Area with the $5. Good show, fellas. Keep it up and keep growing the state of gaming. Yeah, we got you, bro. We got y'all. Top shout out. The shout out boy. I don't know why I gotta say that every time I say top shout out. With the $10, Sony see their manufacturing business under threat from Microsoft with Game Pass. Microsoft wants Samsung and others in the business. Smart TVs are becoming just as capable as consoles to play games. And they're going to become even more capable when the GPUs that we're getting our consoles start showing up in TVs.
Yeah.
Because it's coming. We already seeing it on the cell phone. And somebody told me, talking about some, what did he say on my comment? Y'all thought cell phones was taking over? You do know the cell phones has 52% of the market by itself, right?
Bro.
You know there's more people play games on cell phones than they do on consoles?
Yeah.
And probably PC. It ain't a question whether cell phones took over. All right. Good. Hey, good. That's fire, Top Shotter. You keep dropping them diamonds, man. Keep dropping them jewels. Let me see here. We got Zero Pal with the $5. Boy, people today is spoiled. I would have loved a game service like Game Pass going up. Facts. Let me tell you something. Then we're gonna call. I keep saying we're gonna close the show. We're 3.5 hours in. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. If we had a Game Pass back in the day, you know how much money we would have saved?
Bruh.
You know how many games we wouldn't have got sent off on because we didn't have the internet, right? The only way we knew about a game in this review, we had to wait on a magazine. We had to wait for that to hit stores. Absolutely. And then in there, you only get certain screenshots that show you the best parts of the game. You know, back in the day, you literally had to walk in the store and you didn't know 90% of the games you was looking at on the wall. You only knew about the main games, the Maddens, you know what I'm saying, the NBA Lives, and the popular games at that time. 80 or 90 other percent games on the wall. You didn't. So if you wanted something different, you know, you had to grab that game off the wall, look at the name of it, look on the back of it, see how many players, see what the story about.
I hope they
look at the pictures
at school
and ask somebody about it, or hope that if you say, I'm about to go, man, fuck it, I'm finna buy and see what it's like. And hope that when you buy that game, you had the hope it was something good. You was literally going in these gaming stores in the back. You was literally playing dice. You was gambling. You gambled every time. If you didn't know what you was going in there for, or if it wasn't a game that everybody was talking about, maybe you wanted to play something new, you literally was gambling every purchase.
Go to Best Buy and rent a game for the weekend. Let it be something that ain't nobody playing. You messed up your whole weekend. You just spent what?
Facts. Luckily, Blockbuster came in.
Come on, man.
Allow you to start renting games.
Renting the games out.
You was able to see it to rent it before you buy it, but that ain't going nowhere because people start swapping the discs out. But I'm just saying though, when we walk into GameStop or EB Games or even Funkoland, you know what I'm saying, for that matter, if it wasn't the mainstream games, the Marios, the Sonics, the NBA Live, the Maddens, you know, the other mainstream games back there, the Final Fantasies and all that, if it was something, you was gambling. And a lot of times you was losing money because if you buy that game and you found out that you wasted your money, once you take that shit back, you ain't finna get a full refund. Matter of fact, you ain't finna get a refund at all. They finna buy it back cheaper than what they sold it to you for, right?
Yeah.
And then outside of that, the other option was store credit, where they'll give you more money, but you forced to use that money in their establishment.
Facts. Facts, Zero.
You feel me? Let me talk to y'all real quick.
Yeah,
let us talk to y'all real. This is facts.
That game was boo-boo meat.
This is facts. So Game Pass, whether it's $10 or $15 a month, bypass all of that.
Man.
Because from the indies to the AA to the AAA, first part, whatever you want to call it, it allows you to try before you buy.
Facts.
It allows you to complete it or beat it. And if you want to invest in it, you can have the option to still pay for it and support the developer. What in the hell is wrong with that concept?
Have you ever rented a game in your life? Like, if you ain't never rented a game in your life, you wouldn't be complaining about this right now. Because people that rented games and went through this, we enjoying, we loving it.
It was a chance you might go to Blockbuster, rent that game you want, only to get home and find out it was a movie CD or a music CD in the case, and you ain't even had an actual game because somebody didn't swap. Come on, man. We come from a different cloth, man. Yeah. We come from an era where there wasn't no internet. You had to wait. We didn't have access to the gaming media like that. We didn't have these Twitters on social media, nothing like that.
Yeah, man. I said welfare game. That's insulting. Boy,
if y'all knew the amount of have y'all been in a GameStop? Do you know how many arguments and fights people used to mess them GameStop stores up because they'd come in and try to get their money back and you mean to tell me I just paid $60 on this bullshit? We'll give you $20 for it. $20 I just paid $60 for. Well, that's the value of the game. How that's the value? I just spent $60 on it. You just sold it to me for $60 2
days ago.
2 days ago. How the value dropped that fast?
Man.
Boy, people used to be pissed with them employers. Pissed, bro. I didn't been up in GameStop with people that knocked over shit, knocked stuff off the counter, all of that. Because man, shout out to Zero Power with the $5. You remember that 50-cent game where the cover art is better? Zero.
Yeah.
It was a lot of games like that. That's how we got get. Because you'll look at the cover art and be like, this shit look like it's fire.
You said, ooh, we got Tony Yayo. We got young
bro. Ooh, that's how it was back in the day. You'll look at the cover art and be like, this shit look fire.
Remember that 25 to Life with Snoop Dogg? Oh, yeah. God.
The cover art, you'll look at the front of the game. This look interesting. Look at the back of the game. You'll look at the screenshot, knowing whoever selling the game go put the best screenshots on the back of the on the cover. Then when you go play that shit, you're like, nah, this ain't it. And so you know what you'll do?
In the back.
You know what you do? You know GameStop ain't gonna give you what you just paid for. You'll send one of your guys off. You'll send one of your. I done seen it. Hey, yo, I got this game. I done played it. I done beat it. No, you ain't played and beat shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm done with it. It's fire. Yo, whoop the bam.
Great. Let me get more.
I paid 50 for either you were trying to trade the game. I paid 50, but you just give me 40, 35. You know what I'm saying? You trying to get most of your money. You trying to get most of your money back, bro. Bro, I didn't seen it, bro. And motherfucker used to get boxed over that. Nigga, why you sell me this bullshit ass game? You know it was trash. You was just trying to get your money back because you know if you took it to GameStop, they wasn't gonna get you.
I already spent it.
I want my money, man. That money gone. I just paid for. Yo, man, if y'all only knew what we went through back in the day, bro. But we finna get on out of here, man.
Yep.
Folks, a GameStop might as well give you monopoly money for your facts.
Yeah.
Facts, but that's how it was back in the day.
Still hustling people out their bread to this day.
That's how it was, man. We'll go in the store, we'll look at a game, we'll look at the cover art, we'll ask somebody in the store how they played it. Some often they'll say, yeah, it's a cool game, but sometimes you a bad game and it was hit or miss. And you couldn't get all your money back, man. And so to say Game Pass is for poor people, that is disrespectful. That is crazy, bro. That's a crazy assertion. You must be a millionaire then. The Ruham say, I used to do it. Facts, Ruham. Facts. Facts, bro. It was tough back then, bro. It was tough. It was tough back then, bro. If we had now, if we had what y'all have now back then,
man,
it would have saved a lot of people a lot of money. A lot of money. Because then people game catalogs who just said, fuck it, wouldn't consist of good games and a lot of we said, man, I brought that shit, man. I thought that shit was fire. Man, I wasted my money. You can have it, man. I don't want it, man. Maybe you might like it, man. It was just crazy, man. But thank y'all for tuning in to the show. This week, I'm going to come back with the Microsoft acquisition show dedicated to that only, since there's a lot that we will have to go over. The reason I want to do a deep dive today is because, like I said, I sent some questions out, and I'm trying to see if they're going to get answered. And if they get answered, then I can make that a part of the show, and I can kind of give y'all some update information on what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But once again, we at State of Gaming, thank you all. Thank you all for the support, for the positive feedback, for the motivation to keep going. Like I said, this is 2023. We're going to try to be consistent. We're going to be consistent. We're going to be consistent every Saturday, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be trying to give y'all the best content. The merch store going to be coming soon. Mello is still working on that. I'm going to try to get the YouTube channel in order so when the show over, y'all can see the last. Y'all can get the last, what's the name, to the last show. Get all that going and stuff like that. The membership and stuff will be the membership and stuff. We're gonna be getting that in order, the emojis and all that stuff. We got a cool idea for that, and we're gonna keep building, keep creating, and bringing y'all content. So we thank y'all, everybody who super chatted today. We thank y'all for the support. Continue to support, continue to like, comment, subscribe. Share this out. I did not know we was gonna do a 3.5 hour show today, but it's a first half of everything, and I'm surprised that Mello and Noah is still here. But these brothers been playing the game the whole time. Noah didn't win from Harry Potter to Call of Duty Warzone. He been hyping the whole time.
When you do your Activision Blizzard bit, I just let you go, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That's your thing, dog. You know,
brother.
This is all YouTube. I have not played no game. I am in what they call that counseling. I'm in therapy right now to control myself and not play 2K. Also, make sure y'all support the podcast. We're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, all that. Support. The more y'all support, the more it gets us to motivate to turn out these daggone shows and get y'all this content. And the store should be up before the end of this week.
Okay.
Only got 2 guys, and we good to go.
Okay. Check out the merch, man. Check out the merch. If y'all see something y'all like, definitely support. I think y'all gonna rock with it. We got a new logo and everything. The StreamYard will be we're gonna upgrade StreamYard this week. So y'all gonna see the new logo in the top right corner. And that we're gonna keep building. If y'all got any feedback or anything like that, don't be afraid to hit us up on Twitter. Let us know, or drop it in one of the comment sections or one of our tweets. We definitely want to make sure that we providing everything y'all want in terms of the content in the podcast. All right.
I just want to say to the chat, man, appreciate y'all showing up and showing out.
Yeah,
we are nothing without y'all.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm something without you niggas.
Yeah, he just cut that off real quick. You know, he got focused. You know, he playing the game. When the dude get to talking,
on foot,
and he just cut off it. Either know somebody coming, or he trying to shoot something. But yeah, we finna go, man. Y'all have a good one, man. Thanks. Peace out.
9 used to be a boy, I'm on my grown man-ish. And if your life sucks, I'm trying to get to know that bitch. If he's cool, then baby, I'm cold as shit. Matter of fact, I don't know nobody cold as this. I'm built for this itch, they trying to study my blueprints. I'm so Swayze, like I studied the blueprint.
Money coming in, so we up now. When I was broke, they wouldn't touch down. Started from the bottom of the bed, man. Had to get it fast, want no vision.
We was lights out, trying to find a way out. Damn, look where I'm at now. I used to be on rocky grounds, but it's solid now. Homies I used to call friends, they ain't solid now. Situations change, I got problems now. Never worry about the haters, focus on the win. When I was down and out, they weren't focused in. Get a little bread, they all focused in. I chose to look at life through a different lens. And my lady stayed down for it all. Take flight, touchdown, we don't round trip at all. We stay, fuck up the towns and the mall. It's her day for being down for the cause.